new Twitch channel that has is basically a continuation of a Facebook channel that was developed by myself and a bunch of friends that you'll be seeing here play today. And today's game is the second part of Sailor's Delight, which is run by Dungeon Master Death and Dungeon Master Death. Today is John Poland. And John Poland will be running the game. You will not see John's visage on the screen. You will only see Dungeon Master Death, and you will see the four players that are playing this game. I am one of them, and John, I'll let you take over from here. It is your show, sir. If player introductions, or if you just want to get into it, it's your call.
Yeah, I am John. I'm going to be the DM, or DM Death for the night. I think that proper introductions, just a quick character rundown so people know who you are, starting with Andre.
Okay, I am playing Lord Edwick Foxthrone, and I am a noble who has refused his seat and given it to his younger brother. I have found myself in the company of these three gentlemen, and we have had quite an adventure in an extremely horrific situation that we barely survived through luck. And but yes, Lord Edwick he's very kind of snobby and kind of has that kind of feel to him. So you'll see that throughout the game. Aaron loves him, and well, that's all I've got. And who else is next? I said that's all I got. So
Aaron, you're up, buddy.
Hello, I'm Aaron Justin Brad from Table Knights Entertainment, and I'm playing Hrothgar of the Badgers. And I don't have much to say about myself except that I'm the best that there ever was, and I'm the most humble dwarf of all time, and that nit-witted half-orc can suck my hammer. That's about it. Go on, nit-witted half.
Yeah, well, you might as well go since you've been called out.
all right, I think you're muted, guys.
I'm Caius, and I'm playing Borgo, the first mate on the Synotit, the sunken Synotit, put on this earth to protect the captains of the world, like Sir Edwick Foxthorne, from the nitwit, from the lowly sort of chaos creatures like the basically like the Dragonborn, and having to suffer the lunatic ravings of the Dragonborn and the dwarves and other kinds of Jonah that we come across. So Borgo, first mate, half orc.
Excellent. And Lionel?
All right, I am playing Sulugar, the Bronze Dragonborn, Weaver Extraordinaire. And at this point in the game, Sulugar is wondering if he was been better off if he'd have drowned.
All right, we have Bash Biznet watching us. So hello, everybody. Wave to Bash. Thanks for watching us, Bash. And here we go. So John, kick it, dude.
Bash, just imagine I'm waving to you.
Speaking of which, can someone give the Twitch link in the Skype messenger so I can...
Sure, I'll do that now. Let me put the Twitch link in the Skype messenger. Let's see, share, channel link, embed code. It's just the channel link you want, right? I'm new to Twitch, so I have no idea. That's it right there. So that'll provide the live stream that's on the front of the channel. Okay, so I'm ready.
All right, and if you're all set, guys, for a quick catch up, our poor players have found themselves shipwrecked on the shore after their ship spontaneously combusted. The heavens had opened up, destroying everything, and they found themselves waking up on the beach. In typical fashion, with dead bodies around them, as well as the wreckage of the Synotit. They scrounged and scavenged a few items, found a stairway that went up to a mountain area where they encountered a very thick fog. From that point, they entered the fog and found it almost impossible to see through. Very thick, and seeing only 20 feet or so. They found their way to where they found Brother Derek, who was a downtrodden priest who they tried to get information of. They didn't quite get the right information, as in most games. Sometimes a die roll can change the outcome of what you'd expect to happen. And in this case, he was posted as a servant of the dead, when the opposite was actually true. Moving along, as they entered the lower parts of the town and found out that it's under some sort of assault or curse, they're unsure of where it came from. They approached the first house and they came across undead, which they dealt with. Went back and dealt with Brother Derek again, this time managing to get him to help the group. still being accused of being a liar, but they kind of taken him along to follow the group along. And they entered the lower part of the city, taking Brother Derek's advice at skirting it, where they heard there were several entities, corrupted villagers, one of which was the matron, who was the matron mother of the Antilles orphanage in town. She was corrupted, and as well as the mayor, Mayor Torel Sandamar, who he calls the glutton, and Warden Lothiel, who he was calling the Hatchet, and he proclaimed them as being very powerful, corrupted, evil people that are no longer human in their nature, being somewhat of the undead variety. They skirted along, trying to avoid any confrontation with any type of creature or beings, and they heard sounds coming from a large barn, which they started to go by. They were going to pass it by, but then something made them go back, and Lordwick decided it was time. It was time to engage, and they ran inside the barn. Lo and behold, they found the glutton, a massive 800 pounds of flesh and skin, devouring pigs, just shoving them whole into his gut, into his mouth, and grinding them up. The heroic dwarf leapt from the ceiling down to face against it, while the creature puked in random directions and tried to eat him whole. But, as it is, strong spell casting, smart maneuvering, except for the dwarf, managed to save the day and defeat this powerful creature, whose body just deflated in front of them, leaving a blackish gas in the room, leaving 100 pounds of just stretched skin over the body of the old mayor. Then they burned the barn down, and they moved on. Where we find them now is they've made their way to a small shack on the northeastern part of the town. They've taken the farthest circuit around the town instead of taking the quickest path, which was recommended by Brother Derek. Inside, they learned a little bit more about Brother Derek, and that he's being haunted by all the undead. All the people that are being killed in the town are now torturing him. They're ghosts. He'll spontaneously have cuts appear in his face, or he'll be knocked down or tripped, smashed to the ground, and it looks like he's just tripping and falling, but he's really being punished by the undead, who think that they are locked there. Their immortal souls are locked into this place because of his failures, when he proclaims that it's the failure that the gods themselves are not listening to him. With that, we find Hrothgar, who suffered the most damage in the fight with the glutton, taking a nap, drinking several bottles of whiskey that he found in the hut. The others resting, taking naps, and Borgo actually finding some tobacco and standing outside the door to guard over his captain and the others while smoking. Um, Apparently, Borgo hasn't played any video games where you shoot the guy with the lit cigarette, but that's neither here nor there.
All right. We do not. What is the rest that we have taken? What is it considered? Short, long?
As of right now, I'm going to open up with just that quick recap. What I'm going to do is open up right with Borgo first.
Okay.
The rest of you have found, because of the adrenaline, the exertion, having swam, a couple dozen miles the day before, escaping the burning vessel, waking up on the sun-strewn beaches, having traveled, 20 miles or so in the day, exhaustion is taking you over, and you quickly find yourselves falling asleep. You can hear Hrothgar snoring. It probably helps to lull you into sleep. Borgo, you find yourself leaning on the outside of the small shack, probably in the corner, in the darkness. That's completely dark now. It's not only shadowed by the fog, that impenetrable fog, but now the moon is up, and it's now instead of a yellowish glow that kind of permeates the fog, it's now kind of a whitish glow. Everything seems to be drowned out in black and white colors as opposed to having any color at all. You're sitting there drafting from the pipe that you found, and you hear, at first there are a lot of noises going on as you've come to get used to the fog sending many sounds your way. Every once in a while you can hear the cackle of the "my children" or some other thing, or the sounds of what sounds like wood chopping, just like ka-choo, ka-choo. And every once in a while you hear the sounds of screams, no, no. But this comes to you as a surprise. You hear a voice, and it's a familiar voice, and you hear it not so far away, but it's far enough away. And you hear, "Is anyone out there? Anyone? Any survivors?" After a couple of seconds, Caius, you are probably surprised to hear that. You hear again, "This is Captain Erstwhile of the ship Cinitit. Was anyone out there? Me and my crew,
Captain?
there's several of us here."
Captain, says the half-orc, a little surprised.
You notice that he himself is actually probably yelling over quite a distance. You're picking it up. So when you say captain, you don't think that he probably heard it. Because you hear him again. "Is anyone here? Anyone need help? You there, you, Cookie, get over there. Check those things. Stay close, though. Don't move fast."
Borgo goes and climbs it up onto the roof and calls out into the fog, "Avast the ship!"
Okay. You know what? It's a small shack. You easily find yourself climbing up. You're used to climbing things as a sailor. Because you get to the top and you scream out as loud as you possibly can, I'm assuming, to try to get their attention. And you hear, "What?
Sort of.
What is that? Who's?" Then you heard, it sounded like Borgo. "Borgo, is that you? Is that you, lad?"
This way.
You can clearly hear in your head, you hear, almost as if they're next to you here, "Doc, I think that is Borgo. It's hard to tell in this fog, though. Come, let's go this way." Then you hear, "My children, where are they? Come to me."
That doesn't sound good.
Borgo says to himself.
And then, excitedly, I go in and tell them that we're all right. I found the captain. I go and wake up Lord Edwick.
What do you mean, you... What? What?
The captain is out there. The captain is out there. We're saved.
Which
children.
What? Where? What? Who's... The witch is coming. We must hide. Edwick would immediately, like, try and find something to conceal his body with. He would kick Hrothgar right out of his rack.
Hey, how you doing? You're okay? What's happening?
Come. Borgo says that the ship's captain is coming, but I hear the witch's voice. We must go.
Yeah.
I just follow him, like, lazily.
What you do, Solgar?
Solgar's sitting quietly in the corner with his rugs. As Borgo comes in, rousing the Lord, he just looks up slowly, feeling very tired. If we must go, we must go. And he would rise to his feet, picking up his 2 rolled rugs.
I think we must go. And
That's a group.
the Lord Edwick would go to Borgo and immediately say something like, "Tell us exactly what you saw, so we know what we are dealing with."
I didn't see nothing, but I heard it was definitely the captain's voice coming out of the fog. So I hailed him as we do in the fog, and I could hear some of the other shipmates
What did they say?
that they've survived.
They've survived. Good.
I'm only half awake, but I'm pretty sure what he's saying is he's a daft idiot. Huh?
So, how many were there? What direction were they coming from?
I go back outside and climb onto the roof and listen again.
So Borgo runs outside and he climbs up. Just so you know, you've all had a short rest, so no long rest. Aaron, you're gonna have to roll for your hit dice if you want. You can do that now.
Okay, how much was I left with last time? Because I can't manipulate my character sheet, so
just roll.
Down.
I don't remember what you were down to. We'll say that you spent your hit dice though to get to full.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna bog the game down worrying about that. Borgo, as you get to the top, what do the others do? What do you see? I mean, you can see Borgo scampering and clamoring.
I'll let Silgar go first.
As Borgo is retreating from this small shack, Sulgar walks up next to Lord Edric and he looks over at him and he says, "You do realize the fool probably let one of these denizens know where we are."
I look at Salazar Slytherin. He's probably right.
It's of no consequence. We need as much information as we can get. What are we to do? Wait here? He has obviously seen or noticed something. If we do not know what it is, we will not know how to react. And if he does bring the denizens closer to us, then we will react. But if there is some hope that we can depart from this place by ship, we should do it.
And as he says that, you hear, "Avast the ship!" being shouted out again from the ceiling.
Suddenly, in the middle of your conversations, you actually hear, "Borgo, is that you, lad? We're coming.
Oh shit! I hear
Yell out
too.
again for us."
I hear them call Borgo,
You hear them yell out to Borgo.
and I immediately look at Solgar and Hrothgar, and I say, "Is Borgo local?"
Not that I know of.
Is this his home? How would they know his name? I immediately run to the front door and I say, "Borgo, did you tell them your name?"
They know my name. They're my shipmates.
Fine. And I run back inside, go to Solgar, and I say, it appears that these are Borgo's shipmates. I don't know what to make of it. I did hear the holler of the witch before, but no more.
Well, if it's a problem, obviously, we can, we can handle it. Probably.
As you're standing there, Borgo, you hear first, but the others kind of hear it as well. You hear, "Hey, Borgo, we're coming, lad. We're heading past the well now. We'll be there. There's no one in this blasted city. There's bodies everywhere. We're moving. What is that? Borgo?
Okay.
Shipmates.
I think we should go. I think we should go get his friend now. It sounds like a thing
Children,
we should do.
come to mother.
Watch out for the matron.
I start running in the direction of the captain's voice.
I immediately try to stop Hrothgar by grabbing him. I will roll strength if I can.
Andre, make an athletics check for me as you grab onto Hrothgar.
Sugar would aid Lord Edric. Yeah.
So you have an advantage on Edwick.
Is this
Okay.
contested?
It absolutely is. Yep.
And this is athletics, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I think I have a +5 there.
All right, 16.
Did you add your +1, Andre?
50-50.
No, I didn't. So be 17. Sorry.
Are you kidding me?
Did I stop him?
Wow.
With great surprise, you leap upon him, holding his small but powerful frame as he starts trudging forward. Luckily, Solgar's next to you, and with his massive dragonborn arms, he grabs a hold of him too. They hold you back, Hrothgar.
I'm looking at Solgar. I'm looking at Solgar while I'm screaming, Hrothgar, stop! What are you doing? You will kill us all!
Calm down. I thought we should save his shipmates. You're the one who wanted to get off the island with his ship.
Everything must be done with care. We do not even know if this is a trap.
That's true.
He looks at Solgar, and Edward would feel at this point that he has to kind of stay with Hrothgar. So he looks at Solgar, and he says, "Tend to Borgo. Find out what's going on."
Sugar would look at the Lord, and seeing that he has the dwarf in hand, he would kind of rise to his feet and walk out of the shack, looking up to the roof.
Borgo, do you see anything?
With this cursed fog, I don't see nothing, but I can hear them, and they might run into the matron.
Well, get down here and let's go see.
In a couple of seconds, he's down by your side again.
So as Borgo climbs down, and Lord Edric is restraining Hrothgar.
I'm not fighting him anymore. He's not restraining me.
Well, I'm sure he's probably keeping a hand near you.
He's just holding my hand.
Just to keep you from doing anything crazy. Brother Derek kind of steps out of the shack, kind of leaning forward, and he's got a pale look on his face, still dried blood creased across his face from all the scratches that he has. He says, They're parting. They're all parting. We need to go. I mean, she's coming.
What is happening? Explain to us so we know.
He's like the ghosts, the people. They're leaving. They're moving. Whenever they spread out, they leave. They don't stand near the chosen. They leave them be. That's why they were all up on the hill with me. One of them is coming. The hatchet or the matron.
The large ones.
Yes, the leaders.
Where do we hide?
We could head. I know they won't go to where I was up on the rest. Way back along the road, or we can head to the church. And as he says that, you hear off in the distance the sound of metal clanging on metal, the sound of chains being that, and some screams and then screams, "No, look out, Doc! It's behind you. What is that creature? No! And rending,
Shit,
ripping
mate!
sounds.
I've had enough. If I am to die, I am to die. But I cannot stand by and watch Borgo's men be torn apart.
Okay, so I can go now, right? Yeah, that's the thing.
Solgar? He nods at you to see if he gets your approval.
He's indecisive, but then he nods to let the dwarf go.
The minute that he shakes his head once, just full charge. Yeah!
No, we shouldn't. You stop him. We shouldn't do this. We need to go.
Edwick has had enough of him, and he looks at the priest and he goes, "You have offered no solutions. We must fight or die. This is our what? What?
To the church. The weapons. We need the weapons to face them.
Edwick flips his Edwick. Who had the sword from the last adventure?
Hrothgar has the magical sword at the moment.
Okay. Edwick flips his staff and he says, "We will get to the church as long as we help these people. It is our lawful duty to assist those in need."
It's like from far away, you just hear, "I'm just doing it because it's fun."
I just say, "Come," and I just start running to see if I can find Hrothgar.
Surprisingly, Brother Derek is right behind you, right on your heels, running next to you. Solgar? Borgo?
Borgo
so-
was taking off as soon as.
Okay. So you hit the ground and you took off, running right alongside Hrothgar.
Yeah, and Sulgar would be not far behind Borgo.
This Hrothgar guy is gonna get us killed, I tell you.
Sorry.
Yep, I agree.
Battle thirsty. Am I not a barbarian? Am I doing this wrong?
No, I think you're doing it right, but in the wrong way.
I kind of feel that the Raven Queen will have her new subjects soon, as 4 fools rush to their deaths. But maybe I'm jumping ahead a little.
Oh, come
Hrothgar
on.
would probably happily serve the Raven Queen as long as he got good fights. You know?
Borgo, as you run past Hrothgar, are you going to hold up to let him run with you, or you outrun him?
How is he passing me?
Because your speed is 25 and his...
Shut up! I refuse.
It depends how close I can hear the combat. If it sounds just sort of beyond, I'll run past. But if it's some distance away, I'll stick next to Hrothgar.
My speed is 40, by the way.
Well, even so, I can keep up with you.
No, I'm just letting him know because he said my speed was 25. I was like, that's not right.
It shouldn't be 40. How well?
I have a high dex.
Doesn't affect your
That doesn't
speed.
affect your speed.
I don't know why it's 40 then.
I have long feet.
I have shoes on.
Rothgar of the long legs.
I don't know, maybe
I've got
barbarians...
these long
barbarians get a
Xanax
bonus,
legs.
I don't know.
What am I to do?
all right.
Right. You head up the street, and Brother Derek whispers to you, Lord Edric. He's like, he's heading towards the well. He's like, that's where the poisoned well was. This is where the matron always hangs out. This is dangerous, very dangerous. He's like, I think there are ghouls that run around with her. Be prepared, Lord Edric. Be prepared.
How far? is this?
Hrothgar and Borgo, you're way ahead of them. I mean, they can't even see you. Lord Edwick and Solgar and Brother Derek are so far behind you now that you're basically all they see is a wall of fog as they're running along. They know you all know you're in the center of a street because on either side of you, you can see the houses on the sides of you as you're running along. And you can see the paved road in front of you.
I would try to avoid speaking, and try and go as fast as I can in the direction. But I would also whisper to the priest, "Are we going in the direction of the church, or are we farthering from it?"
He's like, this brings us to the center of town, which is actually out of the way of the church.
When we went through the town last time, we passed by a church as an option to get weapons, and now you say that the church is farther away.
Correction, you've always been heading towards the church. You just took the long circuitous route around.
Okay. So, all right. So either way, the church is in the center of town. Is that correct?
It's past the center of town.
Past the
It's
center
in
of
the
town.
it's in the northwestern corner. So picture yourself being in the northeastern corner.
Mm-hmm.
You're now actually heading towards the center of town, where
Mhm.
you want to go northwest. You're actually running
Okay.
southwest.
All right. That's
right
fine. That's fine. It's still not too bad.
now.
All right. I'd say, but at least we're going in the direction of the west, which is fine. We can always redirect ourselves up towards the church later. Come, let's go quickly.
While I'm running, I look over at Borgo and I go, "How are you with a sword?"
What?
I'm asking you,
Shipmates!
are you any better with a sword than I would be? Because I like my hammer.
Probably, I say.
Here you go. You can have the magic stick. I give him the magic sword that I got last time.
Ooh.
And you have an axe, not a hammer.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. No, it says maul.
Well, yeah, but you lost all your equipment when you drowned.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
You did grab the woodsman's axe though.
The woodsman's axe. That's right. Okay.
Right. Which does 1d8 damage. The longsword does 1d8 plus 1, which was why you took the longsword.
It's
all right. It's been a couple weeks, so no big deal.
I still give it to him.
Wait a second. I have to recall that what weapons do I have? If that's the case, are we all under that specific restriction?
You have a staff that you've made, as
Right.
well as the dagger that Borgo found for you.
Got it. All right. So I'm
Borgo,
okay, good.
remember, crafted a whip. He also has a dagger. Solgar has a dagger as well. There was also a short sword in the shape of a machete, basically an analog for a short sword.
And who's wielding that?
Borgo found it. I mean, Hrothgar found it, but he didn't give it to anyone. So if one of you wanted to pick it up, that's fine. And
I'd be
at the
happy
end of
to
the
take
game,
short
you
sword.
Let Silgar have that, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Silgar, you get that short sword.
The reason I'm giving him the sword is Hrothgar wouldn't want to use a sword. It's too finesse oriented.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. I just wanted to get the weapons thing clear. Sorry for interrupting.
And so you know that Brother Derek has his staff back. You had given it back to him at the end of the
Right.
thing. So he's now willing to engage creatures.
All right. Well,
he's armed.
look, let's do it.
Hrothgar and Borgo, you find yourself skidding to a halt because when you're running, you're heavy breathing, you're screaming. The sounds of your footfalls echo so loudly that it's hard to concentrate and to hear what's going on. You stop for a split second. You listen. You hear the sounds. Sounds like feet, like bare feet slapping against cold stone. Flip, 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 flip. Off in the distance, to your right, to your left a little bit. And then you hear kind of a yell, a man. You damn bitch! I'll take you out! And a slashing sound of a metal on metal again. It sounds like chains, but then like something metal hitting a chain. And then you hear the sound of booted feet running towards your direction.
The moment that I hear the man screaming, I head towards that direction again.
Borgo?
And Borgo just follows 5 feet behind him.
All right. Hrothgar, first, within maybe 20 or 30 steps as you're walking forward, you clearly see, without his flashy hat, without his heavy officer's coat, without his shirt on, actually, you see the captain of the of the ship running towards you, kind of like, and you see in his hand he has like what looks like a cutlass that he has, and he's maybe 20 feet from you as he comes charging out of the fog in your direction, wide-eyed.
I go, pleasure to see you, Captain. I keep running in his direction, but I am preparing myself in case I see him come at me. I know that not everything is as it seems here.
All right, so you're gonna run up to him and be prepared to attack if something happens, something crazy happens. Borgo, what do you do?
Borgo runs up to take his place beside his captain and watch out for. He's ready for attackers coming out of the fog, though he's not ready for the captain attacking him if that's what happens.
So as the two of you approach, he's running towards you. You're moving towards him. He kind of skids to he slides to a stop. Looking, he's like, "Borgo, lad, you made it. There's some sort of creature." And as he does, he looks over his shoulder. You guys hear the sounds of a chain, and then you see a large, long chain flips out, wraps around his throat, and you see him get yanked back onto the ground, and he's getting dragged away.
Can I grab him?
You both can make athletic checks to try to grab him and hold him.
Okie doke.
Unless you want to give advantage to one of you.
I'll give advantage to.
Hrothgar?
I'll aid.
Because Hrothgar has
Hrothgar.
a very good athletics, even though it didn't really come out last time. And what is happening?
So the two of you reach out, trying to grab a hold of him. You grab his
Oh wait,
skin.
I have advantage. You said, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah, you
I
got to roll a
forgot.
second swing.
My bad. My bad. Really hope it's not too crappy.
Yeah,
Hey, that's decent.
16.
You reach out, your hands clasp against his calves as you both grab a hold of him to yank. You hear him gasp as obviously this chain is wrapped around his neck as you're yanking. You're pulling. You hear kind of a cracking sound, but you start to slip as he's covered in just moisture from the fog as your hands slip out and his body just goes slides off into the darkness of the fog.
I run after him.
Okay.
And Borgo too.
Hold on. Lord Edwick and Solgar, as you're running, you hear the screams, the yells of Hrothgar and Borgo, and just as they're coming into sight of them, they start running, and then you continue to run towards them and catch up. You get there just as you see a man on the ground just being dragged into the darkness of the fog, the impenetrableness of the fog.
I continue to move on, and I do not say a word. I try to catch up to Borgo and Hrothgar to the best of my ability. I'm not doing anything in particular that would ready me for battle. I'm just still rushing. I'm looking at Solgar and trying to see if he's keeping up or if he's ahead of me or what.
Okay, and what are you doing, Solgar? Are you going to keep up, stay?
Yeah, Sulgar is definitely maybe a stride ahead of Lord Edwick. You would hear the crackling of lightning coming from Sulgar's throat. It's more a nervous reaction than any portent of any kind of ability he's going to use. But yeah.
Okay, and Brother Derek moves up with you as well. You guys roll initiative for me. As you're doing that, you hear the muffled sound of choking, and then you hear, "Oh, children, come to bed now. I have you. Come with me."
But I'm not sleeping, Mum. Finally! My
6.
first good roll. 20. Although I'm pretty sure that's modified. I'm doing the equation correctly, right?
It's
For
pound.
the-
It's a pound sign and then the 1d20 plus whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You did it right though. You got a natural 20.
You
Oh, no,
just
you got
highlight-
18.
No, I didn't get. I got an 18.
Yeah.
You got 18.
You just highlight over the eye, and it actually tells you what the roll was.
Oh. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, I got a 6. Borgo, you need to re-roll.
Yep. This
Good.
plus 3.
Ooh,
So 17.
Nice. That makes total sense because you guys are right behind us, you know.
mm-hmm. And then Solgar rolled a 5. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that puts Hrothgar first, Borgo second, Lord Edwick third, and Solgar fourth.
Okay, Solgar. No, I'm sorry. Hrothgar.
Yeah.
As you're running forward, following the sound of the man being dragged and is obviously he can't breathe, so he's choking sounds as he's dragged along. You run, you make your full movement, and as you're going forward, the first thing you see as you hit the 20. So I'm not going to say you move completely up to the person if you don't want to, but I'll tell you what you see as you pass through the fog, the shadowy images on the thing. You see a 7-foot tall, somewhat feminine, but its arms are extremely long, extended, almost as if they're twice the length of a normal human. The legs are spindly and long, kind of up, and it's kind of crouched with a bloated gut stomach, and its face is just filled with sharp teeth. You see it's kind of whipping its head. You see that wrapped around its stomach are several different types of iron chains. Attached to these chains, what look like maybe dead bodies of children or other people that are attached to them, just dragging behind. And you can see she's got her hands and she's got these giant arms pulling the chain, just ripping it backwards, dragging the captain towards her. He's struggling, trying to pull, but he can't pull himself free.
Okay. Obviously, I'm going to run up to her. I mean, come on, I'm Hrothgar.
Okay.
And as I'm going to say, "You sick, twisted bitch!" And I am going to initiate my rage and do a reckless attack, attempting to distract her from the captain that he may free himself. So, I'm just going to go ahead and roll for that then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
1. Nope, that's... Oh, hey, that's almost exactly what I needed. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Thank God I did a reckless attack. Whoa, boy. I get advantage, but they get advantage against me too. So, trade off there. 24! Yeah!
All right, Hrothgar. As you run forward, defending the captain, you come forward with a mighty blow. Roll for damage. As you're doing so, you reach forward, slashing out with the. Wait, you have the axe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with a powerful overhand blow. You see, as you're coming in, you see the massive fanged mouth just kind of open to a smile, and you hear, "More children, come. And you see, like, with her left hand, she continues holding the chain, pulling the captain the last 5 feet to her, so he's at the base of where she is, and kind of reaches out with her right hand towards her.
Yeah, max damage. All right. So yeah, I smile back at her and I'm like, "I'll show you your child." Not knowing exactly what I'm saying, I'm just saying because I'm Hrothgar.
Oh God.
That was so funny. I'm sorry.
You slam into her. You notice that the axe like barely penetrates your skin. It rocks her back. I mean, it was a mighty blow, but there seems to be some sort of resistance, as if the feeble metal doesn't quite penetrate her skin.
I cursed on her and I couldn't be a freaking magic axe, could it?
It's something that happens for you, Hrothgar, as you're sitting there. You've just been expelling all your energy, just yelling and screaming, and finally you have to draw a breath. I mean, who can talk that long? Only Hrothgar. But when you do, immediately your nose begins to burn, your chest begins to burn, as just this foul odor permeates not only your face, your eyes, your nose. You begin to feel sick. It doesn't affect you until the beginning of the turn, so.
Okie doke.
All right. You see the matron turns, looking at you.
She's like, "Come to me, my little one. Come to me."
You're making a short joke.
So does a 16, does it hit you?
A 16 doesn't hit me. Yes.
What's your team? 16. and then a 17. So those both hit. You see, she slashes out with her right hand that was engaged you. Ooh. You take 15 points of damage from the slashing as she claws across your body.
I take 7 points of damage.
Yeah, you take half, of course. And then as she kind of hits you, she pulls you close temporarily, and you see her massive mouth comes down. She's like, biting you. 4 and 3 is 7 points of damage, piercing damage, which obviously you take half that, so 3.
Okie doke.
You see as her teeth clamp down, just kind of biting a piece of you, but just releasing it. And then she kind of smiles, drool coming out of her mouth, a small amount of your own blood dripping. As you're seeing this, Borgo, you can see that the dwarf gets bit. He gets slashed. He looks like he's still okay, but I mean, obviously these massive claws and teeth, he can't take that for a long time. You can smell just at the edge of where you're standing, at the 20-foot mark, you're actually picking up that odor, that smell. And you know, if you get really close to her, it gets really pungent. You want to probably avoid that.
So Borgo is sort of pauses at the edge of this smell, taking a second to see how Hrothgar the Badger's attacks distract, and how little effect they have on the matron, who he presumes it is, and that he pauses, times his moment to, he takes a breath, sort of almost reaching backwards, takes a breath, lunges in close, and tries to cut through the chain that's holding the captain and drag the captain out of reach of the matron. Jump forwards, cut, and retreat with the captain. How would you like me to do that?
Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you make a you're not really strong.
Attack roll on the chain.
Yeah, I want you to do an attack roll on the chain, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you advantage because the sword is magic.
Since I just went, I'm going to be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Advantage on the chain, on the attack, or not?
Yes, yeah. I'm just going to do a straight up attack roll versus the DC for breaking it.
Okay. No, it wasn't very good anyway. I get a 15.
15.
Yep.
All right. So as you slash out at the thin rusted chain, it actually snaps as the magic blade cuts through it. It makes a tinging sound, and you see her left hand kind of rah. You notice that the chain whips behind her and just kind of flaps around into the background. You see she looks and kind of hisses in your direction. You reach down and start pulling the captain, who's now like pulling the chain off his neck. He's just coughing and looking very, very, very hurt.
So I, as one of my special abilities, can disengage for free. But, well, I have fancy footwork, which means if I make a melee attack against the creature, I don't know if officially I made a melee attack against her because I was attacking the chain. It cannot make an opportunity. No, okay. It can make an opportunity attack as I drag the.
But you can use a bonus action as a rogue, right, to disengage?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
I can. I'm just wondering if I can, because the captain looks bad, if I can sort of basically any opportunity attacks that are coming in on me rather than on the captain.
Okay.
So
all right. So instead of disengaging, you're going to use your body to protect him from getting caught.
Yeah. So I'm using my disengage action for him rather than for me.
Roger. Okay. As you do it, you notice that her left hand does kind of, as it flicks back, she notices that she kind of whips it forward and the chain comes flying out towards you. You kind of throw your body in front of the chain. She rolled a 20, so that's a hit.
Yep.
Oh
And you take 10 points of damage, blunt damage,
Ah,
from the chain as it racks across your back. But you're a sailor. You've been whipped before.
Yep.
That's like. And you drag the captain the last of your movement, the last 10 feet. So you're still 10 feet away, but.
Poseidon!
Okay,
So
so.
as I'm lushed.
And Lord Edwick, you've seen all that happened around you.
Okay.
Fast melees engaging. You
As
can
fast-
hear, just so you know, you can hear. She's like whispering. She's like,
Now, my children, they're all here.
She says that. Okay. So basically, Lord, I want to see if this makes sense before I actually confirm that this is what I'm going to do. Lord Edwick would want to use his reaction against the beast to establish a viable defense. He knows he can't wound her in one shot, but he wants to lure her away from the others. So what he will do is he will stand at the ready at a distance in which she would have to move towards him, and as a result of that, he'll use. Actually, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to be at the ready, and then once I'll be able to get the trigger action if she comes at me, right?
so you're saving your attack that if she comes at you to hit her, if she comes with
Right. Exactly. I want to have a trigger attack. Okay.
Yes, you can absolutely.
Okay, and I would say to her, I would yell at the top of my lungs. I mean, it would be so screechy and raspy because of the terror of what I'm seeing. I would say, "Come to me! I am the child you seek!" And that would be it.
No, mommy, love me.
hmm
All right, so you see her head does whip around, looking at your direction, but then it seems to look back to Hrothgar and the others. It seems to be whipping like almost frantically, phonetically, just whipping around, looking at all of you,
And
trying to keep all of you.
before I conclude this, I would just say, I would yell, "Mother!"
Nice. You know, as her head immediately swings towards you, is now facing at you, and it kind of like comes down low, staring. Sulgar?
All right. Sulgar kind of skids to a stop when he gets within sight of everything that's happening before him. His two rugs that he has slung over his shoulder, he just drops them to the ground, forgetting them for the moment. And he looks back at Lord Edwick. And as he looks forward again, he just belches out blue streaks of lightning at this witch. And I mean, and so the air is just alive. And I would imagine as it flies past Hrothgar, all the hairs on the little dwarf would just kind of rise up around it. So she has to make a DC 12 dex save.
Ooh. All right, so she rolled a natural 20, so she did.
Yeah,
half.
so it flies past her, just missing her. And then he would just stand his ground there.
There's no half damage for that?
No,
Oh, man, that's...
I don't think so. Let me double check, but I don't.
Well, at least the 20 was on a save versus a hit.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't believe there's a half damage. But that would be Sulgar's turn.
All right, so a blast of electrical energy shoots out of the Dragonborn's mouth, slowly kind of lighting the area up with a bluish light.
Yeah, she does. It does catch her a little bit, but she will take half of this.
Yeah, I thought it was very similar to a breath weapon attack. Hrothgar, your hair is kind of...
Yeah, she'll take 4 lightning damage.
Oof. I would like to caveat, instead of readying a combat action, I would like to ready a dodge. That's all right.
You gonna go full defense?
Do
Yeah.
I get inspiration for my hair?
Yep.
Yes. All right.
All right, right. So as the lightning bolt slams into her side, you notice it just clips her. It's still enough to set her up, and her stringy black hair just kind of like frays out, much like Aaron's hair is right now. Hrothgar's hair kind of burns up as well, and his beard is flowing all over. But you notice that it didn't hit her hard, and she kind of just brushes it off, staring off at Lord Edwick.
Mother!
Hrothgar? She seems distracted, though aware. Not like,
now, wait a second. If she's distracted and looking at me, do they get advantage because she's not watching?
No, she's aware.
DM death.
She's not gonna.
First, I yell, "Watch
DM death is
the
not our
beard!"
friend.
That's right.
And then, taking a page from Lord Edic's example, I start screaming, "Mummy!" And I'm gonna scream along. I'm gonna scream and attack with that. I'm thinking we should all be screaming "Mother." Just make her freak out.
Right.
And you know what? Because I am Hrothgar, I'll do another reckless attack. Ooh, that was a good roll. Hopefully I get a crit and it's worth it. Listen, it's not my fault, okay? I'm a monster, I realize. No, okay, so it's 23. All right,
so you hit Hrothgar.
Yeah.
With the first roll, Hrothgar. Why did you... All right, only 6 damage, which I assume she is resistant to.
Yeah, you bring your axe across this time, hitting her in her bloated belly, hoping to disembowel her. It kind of hits and doesn't penetrate and kind of bounces off. You see she still makes a wincing sound, but doesn't quite hurt her.
Hrothgar gets very frustrated and just starts making a bunch of baby noises. This isn't him trying to distract her. That's just what he does. Okay.
You see as she's staring off at Lord Edwick, you see she grins. She makes a sideways grin where just half her face kind of goes up. And she's like, "Now, my children, now." And then she lashes out at Hrothgar.
Do it.
4? Does that hit you?
No.
Then she tries
That's
to bite
advantage.
you.
Because
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. She has advantage.
4 and 11.
No, that does
So
not.
as she claws at you, she misses, slashing, probably because she's distracted by Lord Edwick, and then she tries to bite you again. 21. Let's see if I get a crit. A nat 20.
Oh!
You see her mouth encompasses onto your shoulder. Let's see how much damage she does.
Wait, don't they only get advantage for one attack?
no, it's every attack that comes in on
It's
you.
every attack, even like other
Fine.
people. And so it's 6, 12, 15. 15 plus 3 is 18 points of piercing damage on you. As she clamps down to your shoulder and kind of shakes you slightly, and then releases you. Her mouth dripping with dwarven blood, saliva leaking all over you. Hrothgar, do me a favor. Make a Constitution check.
Is this against poison?
No, you're gonna make 2 Constitution checks.
Okay.
The first one is for the smell.
Oh dear God. I don't
Okay.
think I made that one.
And then make another, make a second one. Jesus Christ!
Okay.
As you feel her paralytic powers flowing through you from the hit.
Could we not?
Can we not do that?
16.
Okay, so you resist that power, but you feel something that you've probably never ever felt as a dwarf before. Your stomach begins churning, and you just kind of stop and you vomit onto the ground as this gas is emitting a powerful scent that's affecting anyone within 5 feet of her.
That's not right. That doesn't feel good.
Okay. You notice at the same time that Hrothgar is on the ground, now throwing up, she's kind of like drooling and laughing over her, lauding over his inability to deal with it.
That's right. Hrothgar is transgender, apparently.
Eric, Lord Edwick, you feel something slashing at your back. I rolled a 13. Does that hit you?
John, is your mic on the table where you're rolling dice?
Yeah, why are you getting
Just-
a bounce?
Yeah, I'm getting it. That's how I just want to make sure. I thought that was me. All right, go ahead, continue.
No, that's me.
Yeah,
Plus I was using my giant die.
I hear it.
So does a 13 hit you? Lord Edwick? Andre?
Oh, a 13 does no. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I totally lost track there. I thought you were talking to someone else. I'm sorry.
No,
13 definitely hits me.
Okay.
But I ready to dodge action. Is that something?
Yeah.
Okay, because if I'm ready to dodge action, I get an advantage.
No, it gives him disadvantage.
It gives him
All right, and then you rolled a 7, so that's okay. So he missed you.
Okay, good.
All right. Suddenly, your senses tingle, your neck hairs stand up, and you just kind of like step out of the side, and you see a ghastly creature with no hair, massive fang teeth, and claws, somewhat humanoid, but with gray, palish skin. It kind of lashes out at you like.
So this
trying to hit
creature
you.
didn't come from the main woman that I was looking at. This is another creature from the side.
No, would be her children.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Hrothgar!
Silgar, luckily for you, Brother Derek had turned around and is now engaging with one of the other ones that leapt from the darkness. Shit.
At this point, I'd probably be yelling at what's his face? With the B name. The
Borgo.
Yeah.
Frickin' stab her with the magic sword, you twat!
So you see Brother Derek, or you feel it anyway, Silgar, as he backs into you, pushing you forward a little bit, as one of these creatures leaps from the darkness, hacking and slashing and trying to gnaw at him, trying to bite him. He throws his staff up, blocking, knocking him aside, but one of them lashes across his chest. You see he kind of rocks back, but he manages to push it away with the staff, knocking it back. Borgo, are you gonna? One of these creatures is leaping out. Are you gonna continue to intercept anything that goes towards the captain?
They go for the captain.
If it goes for the captain, are you gonna intercept it?
Yeah.
We are such a flawed bunch of noble creatures that this adventure will crush us.
Yeah, we're gonna die.
It
is gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
First encounter.
That's right.
12 is a miss. 6 is a miss.
Die with glory, my friends.
And a 21. That's a hit, right?
Oh yes.
Right, Borgo,
And
so we hit-
12. We didn't pick up any armor, did we? So a 12 is a hit.
Ooh, 12 is a hit as well.
Yep. I've got an AC of 12.
So its claw lashes across your back for 8 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
Then it bites you for 4 points of damage. And you have to make a DC 10 con saving throw.
Borgo's looking hurt at this, and let's see.
Yes, that's my children. Take them all.
I am so upset at Hrothgar right now. I am just wagging my finger at my noble finger at Hrothgar.
Yep, I feel sort of my muscles and things tightening up, but I'm able to push it. I'm able to push through it and keep going.
Awesome. Yeah, so you resisted pushing forward, still trying to protect your captain as you should.
Can't believe I gave him the magic sword.
Borgo, you are up next.
So Borgo with his child in front of me. I'll damn, I've got to save the captain.
No, it makes sense. I mean, I think everybody is doing what makes sense. I just think that what makes sense for us is going to fucking get us killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's,
think so too.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Don't compromise.
I mean,
your
'cause
character
There's
for the
no
sake of-
way Lord Edwick would have been like, oh, let them get slayed. Let's go to the church and get weapons. That's just lawful good. Just not. It's not going to happen. We're going to die.
So, Borgo, more on instinct than anything else. This thing's lashed out at him. He lashes out with his sword back at the child that's come out of the mist. But I'm guessing the sword is just a long sword, not a finesse weapon.
It is a long sword, yes, non-finesse.
So it's not. It'd be so much more useful if you had this.
Yes, it would have been way more useful if it was in the hands of the
I
guy
was
who had
almost
it.
positive that the long swords also could function on finesse because
No.
in real life that they require a lot of finesse.
Luckily, this is not real life.
You mean
Does this have a-
unluckily?
Very
Oh.
Does
luckily.
this have a plus?
No, I meant luckily
Extremely luckily.
for me.
Does this have any pluses? This sword? Anyway, I get
It
a
is plus
23,
one.
which
It is plus one, Borgo.
it'll bite into him for. Let's see. Oh, damn it. D8 plus 3.
You put the plus one for the sword.
Oh no, he doesn't. He'll use it two-handed because he doesn't have anything else. So it's a D10, isn't it? Plus 3.
Yes. Yep. It's a versatile weapon.
Hmm.
Sorry about this. Just a second.
No, dude. While you're doing that, I'm looking up my new strategy for surviving and running and letting you all die.
Yeah. How-
The noble
It was
lord
it was,
of Ark
it was good
nobly
you
ran
fought with
away.
bravery. Bye.
That's my strategy too.
yes.
My strategy is to die, become part of the Raven Queen's army, come back, kill you all, then we can all be friends again.
So 7 points of damage against this thing, and then just by instinct I'll dodge back out of the way from it. Moving, circling round to get round the back of the mother and dragging the captain with me if I can.
Make an athletics check.
Come on, get this. You need this one.
If you fail, you can have my inspiration.
Right.
While Borgo's rolling, Sulgar and Lord Edwick, out of your vantage point, looking off to the side. Wow, what an awesome roll. Not 20. Borgo, yeah. With strength brought on by pure adrenaline and fear, you grab the captain and yank him and just drag him to the other side. So you're behind the mother, who's now like watching you like, what the, as you manage to drag this 200-pound man across the ground like he was nothing. And still holding your sword in your other hand.
Nice.
And can I, as a free action? No, it's all right. That's all I'll do.
Okay.
Are you going to use your bonus to disengage? And are you going to cover the captain as you pull him away?
I'll use my bonus. Because I attacked the child, it can't. With my fancy footwork, I'm just sort of blurring it, and it won't be. It's not. I don't even need to make a
Right. It can't
disengage action again.
technically attack you, but it can attack the captain.
Can I use a disengage for the captain?
Yes, DM Death is feeling nice today. As you quickly move, pulling him along the ground, you hear in your mind, "We will prolong this fight for a little bit longer."
And I say to the captain, find cover or a decent weapon.
Borgo, make a perception check for me and just hold on to it while I explain. At the same time, while this is going on, Brother Derek, you can see him. He kind of pushes off Solgar. Both you and Lord Edward kind of see this out of the corners of your eyes as he brings the staff up and does like a double windmill and then just brings it down, double-handed on top of the ghoul's head, knocking one of the children back. You see its head kind of caves in slightly, but then he pulls it back and he's ready to attack. Yeah. What did you get, Borgo? Oh, you still rolling?
A 6.
Okay, so you don't notice anything.
Caius, you're off camera. Move to your right. Yeah, there you go. Now you're on camera. Sorry.
Lord Edric, you're up.
Okay. Lord Edwick would have enough of such nonsense. He would look at Hrothgar's plight, see that Borgo has pulled out the captain, look at Solgar for some type of logical explanation as to how we're going to survive this, but not from the House of Foxthrone. The House of Foxthrone would not run like a coward, and he would accept his fate for what it is worth with the child that is right next to him that he fatefully dodged the attack of. I'm assuming is ready once again. This Lord Edwick Foxthrone takes two hands and does a two-handed attack with the staff in his hand and attacks the child and yells at the top of his lung, "She's no mother of mine!" and swings the stick at the beast and two-handed attack. There it is. Boom. He swings for a 14, and if he hits, he gets 9 damage.
So he definitely hits max damage. You bring it down, slamming the creature in the head. It almost takes its small frame, like kind of forces it down onto all fours. It kind of like twists a little bit, as you can hear like the broken bones in its shoulder as it moves its arm. Kind of looks up at you and hisses.
As the attack connects, I'd like to say something to Solgar, Borgo, and Hrothgar and say, "We must leave!" And he says, "We must go to the church! Withdraw now!"
To the church.
He's Edwick is obviously the road in which they approach these beasts are still behind Edwick because he didn't actually go as far as everybody else. So he's actually the farthest to retreat, but he does not take that opportunity to leave. He wants everybody to come with him. So he just beckons them after the swing is taken and he's like waving at them, "Come now! Come, let us go!"
So you technically have your move action, but you may want to wait to actually disengage.
I am going to not take my move action.
Real quick.
Yeah.
John, can Andre roll a persuasion check because I'm enraged right now, and it is going to be difficult for me to disengage.
No, but you can make a wisdom save though.
Okay, I'll do that when it's my turn.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not going to disengage from the beast because I'm expecting him to attack me back while I'm waiting for them to come. So I don't think that Edwick would just be like, he's just not his style. He would definitely stay in combat, ready for the attack as he's calling his friends.
Okay. Solgar, you're up.
Sulgar gets kind of shoved a little bit from Brother Derek as he's fighting off this child, one of her children. He turns and he's just getting ready. There's this crackle of electricity in his hands. He's kind of just mumbling very quietly under his breath. The weaved pendant at his that hangs from his neck is glowing, and he'll turn and he'll reach up under Brother Derek and touch that child, that one of this witch's children, and I'll make a attack.
Yeah, you will.
It was a 13 hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Right. So
Yeah.
I will hit it with a shocking grasp. So blue electricity. He doesn't actually touch it, but he gets close enough so it's almost like an electrical discharge into the creature for 7 electrical damage. And I guess its body goes rigid and it cannot make reactions until the start of its next turn. And once he does that, Sulgar would grab with his other hand Brother Derek and say, "Quickly, we must move." And he would shove him past as Sulgar starts to move toward Lord Edwick, listening to his, believing that what he says makes sense, that they're going to die if they stay here.
Mm.
All right. So as you reach around, Brother Derek kind of moves out of the way at the last minute to give you space, so you reach out and slash out with your fist. As you, like you said, when you reach out with your hand, a blue arc launches out, hitting the ghoul. As the ghoul's head and eye was already hanging out from the blow that Brother Derek had hit it. As the blue lightning slams into it, it knocks it back, flowing it from the ground, and it lands maybe 10 feet away from you, and it just kind of shivers and shakes with smoke burning off it. As you turn and start pulling Brother Derek, you see that he's almost already turning as he's heading towards Lord Edwick. He seems determined to get to that ghoul as he's getting ready to head in that direction, and you turn as well. As the creature falls and hits the ground, you hear, "No!"
That is a very disturbing sound.
Yeah.
Oscar?
Okay.
She's screaming. And in fact, she's screaming and she's staring and she's not moving. She's just actually standing there.
I'm gonna have to make my wisdom check before I do anything else, because if I make it, I'll know exactly what to do in this moment. If not,
Make it.
I'm probably gonna die.
You have to make this roll.
So,
It's a clutch roll, man.
That's right. Oh, 7.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
All right. 4.
I yelled to the rest of them, "Keep running, lads! I'll hold them."
You can't even DM death that.
Terrible. I am seeing that she's distraught. Seeing that she's distraught by the killing of children, though, and wanting to make her upsetty spaghetti, I go and attack one of the children.
How many children are with it? Is there like hundreds of them, or
You've only seen 3.
we've only
And
seen
one
3?
of them is dead.
Okay, all right. And
Doesn't
this,
mean there's not more.
oh
hiding
yeah,
around.
no doubt. No doubt.
What child is threatening people? There's 2 children up right now, right?
I need you to make a perception check.
Okay. Oh my god.
You're in combat with this massive creature that's pretty much taking up your entire view, and you're raging. For you to actually see what's going around you, I don't think you would be as perceptive.
Oh, it hurts.
Okay, I'm at 18. That's all right.
Okay. Yeah, you could see right behind the creature, you could see a bloodied Borgo dragging the captain, still holding onto his cutlass and the longsword. You could see
Okay.
the creature kind of sloping towards him, like moving like erratically, getting ready to leap towards him. Then you notice off to your left, Lord Edwick with Solgar and Brother Derek running towards him to help him.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be fine, but Borgo's bloody. So I am going to go help Borgo. I'm gonna make an attack on the child.
Okay. Surprisingly, as you run past the mother, she just continues to scream and stare.
Oh.
Ooh! Ooh!
Natural
I wish I had done this against her. Yes!
Okay.
I
Yeah.
destroy her child. Hopefully.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
All right, that's a 6, so 12 points of damage.
No, you double the D. So you do 1d8, 1d8, and then you add the 4.
Oh.
Yep.
2d8. Okay, so then I just roll another D8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just roll one more d8.
So 9 points of damage, Boo.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. So moving as a fully armed and operational dwarf, you power around her, and like a linebacker, you just run forward and just kind of slam into this little ghoul that's hopping, not even noting that you're coming at it, and just kind of hit it with a sidelong blow. It kind of knocks it 5 to 6 feet. It just kind of slides. It looks down. Its side is all ripped open, but it turns and like just hisses at you.
As a free action, I yell at Borgo, "You're useless! Give me the friggin' sword!"
As he says that, can I just take an incidental and yell something at him?
Sure. Yep. I'm rolling for her.
I would say, "Get the fuck over here now! We must go!"
I'm making sure Borgo can get out, man. Y'all are good. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm making sure you all can get out by yelling at you.
Okay,
Oh
Dad.
my God.
That's
Rough
right.
guy, the little creature that's next to you kind of leaps forward at you. He's got 16. Ooh,
Could you roll
18.
less than that?
yeah, no,
Like 3
16
less.
and 18.
All right, because those both hit. I don't like it. Either of them hit. Damn, Hrothgar, I'm not supposed to die.
So he did
You're-
5 plus. So he did 7 points of slashing damage with his claw,
Okay.
and then he bites down on you.
Or we could just hug it out.
2, 4
Hold it down.
plus 2 is 6 points of piercing damage as he bites onto you.
Ah.
You have to make a con save, DC 10 con save.
Hrothgar! No!
It's fine. Everything's fine. All good. Nothing bad's happening.
Just want to remind you, I don't know if you guys remember that you had one broken vial that looked like a healing draught, and you had a healing draught.
Okay. So I
don't know
made
where-
the save.
I don't remember where they ended up, but
They are
I'm
on
pretty sh-
Hrothgar's person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took them because I'm like, I'm the one throwing myself into danger.
okay. Okay, Hrothgar, as you break that free, you're kind of like, get off from me, and you kind of shove the creature back. It slides and kind of hisses, looking at you on all fours. Make a perception check for me.
Hmm.
Oh boy. That's plus 3. Boop. 18. Hey.
Come on, get something good.
You see on the ground, not far from Borgo, just behind him. Borgo's facing the facing you and away from it. So behind Borgo, if he's taken another like 5 steps, you see the body of one of the other sailors still kind of shaking and shivering. Its chest has been burst, ripped open. Blood is still leaking out all over the place. But you notice in his left hand is a vial, and it's just sitting there. And as you're looking, you kind of almost recognize it as this is Doc. Cookie. This is the doctor of the ship, the one whose vials you actually have in your pocket to remind you that you have vials of healing in your pocket. that
Sorry
you
about
wanna
this, Doc. Just like taking it.
No,
and
no,
running
no, no.
away.
Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Say that again, DM Death.
use. I said that you remember that he's the one who was the healer because you have the healing draughts in your pocket.
So
have
you
one.
remember you have the healing drops in your pocket.
I know.
Okay.
I'm still not. I still need to run away.
Dude, run. Whatever it
Well,
is, take
yes,
it.
I'll run and drink. I mean, I can
Yeah.
drink and do almost anything at the same time.
Right, right.
Okay, Borgo, you're up.
Get up, throw me the sword and run. If you don't, I will chop your legs.
Borgo has been moving around like you saw him moving in the fight with the glutton. He's moving blurringly, and he sort of, in a very unpredictable, irregular way, darts in to slash at the child that's on Hrothgar.
That's good.
So,
That's good. That's fine. At least you're within close proximity of each other.
Yeah.
Yep. But he's not using the magic sword anymore. He's using his cutlass.
Borgo.
You've dropped the magic sword, right? It's on the floor where I can grab it,
haven't
right?
dropped it. I've got it there in my other hand, sort of, but I'm not using it. It's just sort of almost as a prop. So I think that's a natural 20. Yep.
Yeah, that's a natural 20. So. Yep.
So actually, this is going to do quite a lot of damage because I double all my dice, don't I?
Yes, including your backstab damage.
So
I'm sorry, sneak attack. Backstab's an old
sneak attack.
archaic form of sneak attack.
I know what you're saying.
My backstab is ×3.
So I do 21 points of damage.
Jeez.
With my crit sneak attack with the cutlass.
This creature is extremely injured from Hrothgar's hit and from earlier damage it took. You leap forward with your cutlass and kind of almost effortlessly slash out, almost running past it as you do, and then running back to your original position. Its head just kind of falls off, almost Voltron style, as its two halves falls to the ground.
Just as I land that blow, I shove my other hand comes around, and I shove the hilt of the magic sword in Hrothgar's hand, and then as my main action, as my
move action,
move and cunning action, I move and dash to get round, disappearing into the fog behind the captain. So even not the captain, behind Lord
Edwick.
Sir Edwick. So I'm over by Sir Edwick. I maneuver around the mother.
I'm inspired.
Sir Edwick.
All right, so you make your way over to him. You notice that as you're getting past where Lord Edwick is standing, there's a building in front of you. There's a bunch of buildings as you get kind of onto like the sidewalk of the road. So there's not far. You can't go 20 feet past them into the fog, at least not where you can see. So basically, no matter where you stand, unless you go northeast, the way you came basically, or go farther along the road. Basically, you're in the center of a road, a one-way road. So there's houses on either side. You basically have been fighting in the center of the street. So you could still get, behind the one with that Lord Edwick is fighting, but you're just not 20 feet away. You're only 10 feet away.
Okay, that's fine.
Well within whip range.
Yeah, I'll stay within whip range, but hopefully not combat range.
Good.
And beyond, hopefully beyond the range of the mother, though I haven't seen her move yet, so I don't know what her move is, but I'm trying to stay about 30 or 40 feet from her. My complete move would be 60 feet that round.
Yeah. I mean, you can, because your speed is when you're dashing like that, because of the 20-foot radius you have to stay in contact to be able to see everyone. You can pretty much move anywhere around the map without touching anyone.
Yep.
So you have no problem moving into that position, or even farther along, or you can head down the road if you want.
No, I'll stay within sight of the. I'll probably have lost sight of Hrothgar, but stay in sight of Lord Edwick.
Okay, so as you approach you get near Lord Edwick. You can just see at the edge of your field of view. You can see the matron standing there, the matron, and then past, you can't see Hrothgar or the captain, but you know they're over there.
And I'll be listening out to hear if any other children are coming from other directions.
Okay.
That dice rolls, and you know something happened.
Yeah, Brother Derek comes running past you, Lord Edwick.
Okay.
You see him with both hands on his staff, baseball style, just kind of runs by and slams into the ghoul.
Okay. Does he knock his head off?
8 plus 3 is 11.
Yes.
He hits it solidly, knocking it to the ground. It kind of like scurries and stands up. Its jaw seems to be moving in an odd direction. He kind of like shakes it. It's kind of loose and broken, but it's not quite dead yet.
So he knocked it prone, and it stood up as a result of the... Wow, that's a fast ghoul.
Yeah, these things are small children that move very...
Oh, they're not like... Okay, all right, got you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. No problem.
They're baby ghouls.
So we're basically killing children right now.
Hey, listen.
We're
we are doing
killing.
a service. This is a
At the-
noble cause.
At the end of Brother Derek's turn, the matron uses a legendary action. You see she stops. You see her stomach kind of compresses. Then she lunges up, her mouth open. And as she does so, you see a small form launch out of her mouth, dropping onto the ground. You see it immediately shakes and starts breaking itself up, and you see one of those small ghouls.
Okay, now we must leave.
Yeah, at that point, Hrothgar is like, all right, yeah, no, we're good. I'm good.
Okay, so did the round reset?
No, Lord Edric, you're up.
Okay. I would at the sight of that event, at that legendary event, I would disengage and I would start to
Okay.
run. I would run in the. I'm sorry.
You want to run in the direction you came, or do you want to run?
I would disengage and I would look at Solgar and Borgo, who are closest to me, along with the priest. And I'm assuming that Hrothgar is still within. He could still see me, right?
No,
he can't.
Hrothgar and
I
the
know we're
captain
going
are
to
on
the church.
Yeah,
on the other
I'm
side of
trying
the-
to pull him toward. Then I can't leave.
Don't worry. After seeing the whole throwing up her stomach thing,
But I wouldn't even know.
Hrothgar's leaving.
I wouldn't
What
know.
you meta talking there?
I wouldn't even know. I have to stay where I am, and I have to attack the child that is next to me, again with the two-handed swing, and I yell out something like, before I swing, I yell out, Hrothgar, let's go! And
Yeah, after the whole stomach thing, I'm kind of done.
all right, so I hit with a 17 and for 8 damage.
Oh, Jesus. So you splayed this creature's brains out, bringing your staff down. As it kind of gets a double baseball bat hit to the side, knocking it flying. And as it stands up, you bring your baseball bat down and crushing its skull, knocking it flat.
And I
there's no scream or anything from the mother, but her head is looking in your direction. Viscous greenish material is just pouring from her mouth. You can see her stomach's beginning to convulse again.
I look at whoever is looking at me would see that when the swing hit true, it almost exploded the skull. He spun the stick and landed it on the skull, exploding the skull, and then he would take his opposite hand and point it at the mother, and he says, "Your day is coming, witch! We will leave now, but we will come back, and you will be through!"
Yeah.
Hrothgar! Let's go!
As you yell this, you scream it out. You see the matron's mouth just kind of still covered in that gross material, just makes a big smile, and she just kind of stares at you, and then you see her body just starts convulsing.
Ah.
Okay, so
Solgar, you're up, my friend.
All All right. So Sulgar would begin chanting again, and there would be the crackle. Then the air would kind of get charged around him. I'm just going to have a readied action, have a spell, a shocking grasp ready if anything comes near him.
Okay.
But as he's got the spell, so it just has to just say that one last word to finish it. He looks over at Brother Derek and he says,
Which way is the quickest way to the church?
You see, he's looking. You kind of frantically is looking around. He's like, his eyes are locked onto the matron. He's like, we should go back the way we came, cutting around the outside. We still shouldn't go through the center of town. The hatchet could be there.
All right.
and he would start heading that way. And he would, and as he starts, he takes a couple of steps and he realizes, he says,
Lord Edwick, let's go.
and he would use his movement to head that direction.
We cannot leave him. We must wait for Hofgar. He has the sword, and he knows how to use it. We must wait for him. And he points at Borgo, and he looks at Borgo and the priest, and he says, I cannot leave him. I will meet you at the church if you must depart. I cannot leave him.
So I guess Sulgar would stop up short. Maybe he's taking a couple of strides back the way they had come. And he's torn right now because he doesn't want to die. He's not a coward, but he doesn't see himself a hero either. But something in Lord Edwick's plea gets to him, and he just stops and he just gives just a very solemn nod. One of those nods that really just says to you, Lord Edwick, we're probably going to die here, but we shall do the noble thing. And so, yeah, he would stop up short. So he's just a few feet away from them.
Lord Edwick would place his the open hand that he was pointing to the mother with. He places it on the shoulder of Sogar, and he says, "Today you have found a new friend." And
Well, I can't leave my rugs behind either.
He realizes as he's left his rugs in the, like 30 feet away.
he says, "Very well. We'll get the rugs too." All right.
All right. As you guys finish your conversation quickly in the midst of the combat, Hrothgar, you look down, you see the captain kind of getting up on his hands, and he begins to crawl towards Cookie. And he says, poor Cookie. And he grabs the bottle and he kind of pops you sound, and he just drinks the vial down. You notice that the scratches and wounds that he had on his back begin to seal up, but not completely. He's still injured, but he looks better. And he stands up and he kind of like grabs his cutlass, and he's like, where do we go?
I go, just follow me, sir.
You see he gets up and just moves towards you.
All right. Having seen the mother give birth, in any context, that would knock someone out of a homicidal rage, I think. So, Hrothgar
I think that's up to you.
begins booking it in the direction that Lord Eddard had originally told him to go. So I'm gone. I'm leaving. And I'm like, I'm leaving now. I'll meet you back there.
And when he does that, he realizes that we're all waiting for him going.
Actually, he can't see you.
Oh, he can't see. Oh,
guys
so he's
can't
going
see
the
each
opposite
other.
way?
No, I'm going.
Well,
I'm
as
going
far as he's
to-
concerned, he's heading towards you, I guess. I don't know. Which
I'm
way?
I'm going to where we were planning to go to where we had been before. I'm going back to the original path. That's the only way I know to get to the church.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have any other idea of where to go.
I see.
And I'm not a very smart dwarf.
Well, that's true. As you run around the mother, I'm assuming you're going to give her a wide berth.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Sorry. That's a berth.
Yeah.
You you run around the outside. The captain close on your heels, kind of running next to you, and then luckily, as you come around the corner, you see, you're keeping your eye on the new birth child as well as her. You see Lord Edwick, Sulgar, Borgo, and Brother Derek all like looking in your direction. They're like, you see like looks of relief on everyone's faces as you come
It's
into
like,
view.
what are you idiots waiting for? Let's go!
Yo, you are the most dwarfy dwarf I have
Yeah.
ever played with, man. That is
I
awesome.
agree.
As a group, are you all gonna just run?
Oh yes. Oh, I'm
fleeing?
I'm going.
Gone. Just bye
We're
bye.
running.
Kaputski.
The priest would be probably close to me and Solgar, so he would give us guidance. So I'm assuming that Hrothgar and Borgo would stay pace with us. Is that correct? Or are you guys gonna just run in panic?
Well, no, Borgo won't leave the captain, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No.
I'm running as fast as I can. I don't do anything by half measures.
So Hrothgar takes off, but the rest of you follow.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked. That's the only reason I asked.
He
Sure,
runs
as-
in ahead. He runs away.
That's all
I,
right.
As you're-
I
as
will
you're-
be right back.
As your group is running around, running away, you kind of hear the as she pukes up another child, and then it's kind of silent.
We must go. So we're
Just the sound of.
we're just yeah. I mean, at
yeah,
this
the-
point in time, there is really no role play to be had by Edwick. He is just running,
Yep.
trying to pull the priest as fast as he can in the direction which it came.
Oh, you don't have to pull the priest.
Okay,
He's
well-
running right beside you now.
All right.
He
So
seems
then,
invigorated. He's engaged an undead creature. He's helped to kill it. He feels
oh,
invigorated.
good. So then, I would say, as we're running, I would say to the priest, I would say, "You must lead us. You know where the church is. Take us there now."
Yes. Okay, we'll go straight there. He's like, we have to cut down to the road. Once we get down to the docks, we have to go left. Then we follow that road. It just follows it all the way to to the church. It's up on the hill. On the
Fine.
northwest.
I'm following. We will progress in that direction indefinitely until DM Death tells us differently. Here's the dice. I hear it rolling.
All right, as your group moves through, you run down the alley. Not the alleyway. You run down the main road. This is actually one of the main course roads that go into the center of town that you were traveling on.
Mhm.
One of the larger paved roads. Most of the roads are all dirt in the area. This is the only few that is paved. As you get down to the smell of the docks, kind of permeate your nose now more than before, as you can hear the sounds of the sea lapping in the distance. You cut left. As he points out, he's like, the shack was over there in that direction. Quickly this way, as you guys cut around a lot of the houses. As you're running, I need everyone to make a Constitution check.
Oh no.
I'm good at that.
All right, 1d20 plus 3. 16. Solgar rolled a 5.
I got
17.
Sorry, Solgar.
It's never good when you're saying sorry to Solgar. Okay. And Borgo, 11.
Okay. So, Solgar, those years of sitting down and just weaving things has not got you in the best cardio fitness as possible. You find yourself laboring for breathe. At the same time, next to you, you see the captain's like, I can't make it. I need to rest. At least slow down for a couple seconds. Are we far enough away yet? And then Brother Derek, you hear him wheezing, but he's not saying anything. He's pushing it, but he's bright red. You can see that he's pushing himself. Hrothgar, I need you to roll a d4 for me.
A D4.
Oh, man.
How unorthodox.
What is your D4 for? 4.
4. I can only assume that that's good.
Hrothgar, roll another d4 for me.
Oh, god damn it.
It's an exploding D4.
You know that bite wound?
Yeah. It appears the mighty
Oh, no.
Hrothgar, running ahead of the group, has found himself lost.
That's right.
I got a 1.
It dawns on you, Rothgar, that I mean, you left everyone in the dust. You don't know where the fuck you are.
Oh,
Yes.
You know you made a turn, but you're not sure what turn is the one you went. I mean,
I look around. There's just fog everywhere.
yeah, you actually stop because you're just standing in the center of just an open 20-foot area of fog around you. You don't see anything.
I go,
You're standing on what feels like dirt.
shit.
shit.
Go to the game.
It is at this point I do what my father taught me, which is to ask the spirits for guidance, as he was a shaman of my tribe, the head shaman. So, for once, Hrothgar puts the axe in the ground and gets on his knees like he's sitting down. Tries to take a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. And he is going to try and communicate with the spirit of the badger. And he's going to say, Spirit, I've served you well. I have shown that I'm a follower of your ways. I ask now that you only give me a slight tinge of your power, that I may smell my friends, lead my way back to them. I'm going to follow my nose back to the smell of probably Solgar, because he has a very distinct odor of ionized air.
Mm.
Okay, so I need you to do two things for me. I need you to make a survival check.
All
Oh
right.
boy. Okay.
And then I need you to make a perception check. Now, while you're doing that, just hold them, because I'm gonna go to the other guys for a second. So just roll them and keep the numbers. Lord Edric, Solgar, Borgo, do you guys actually slow down and stop when they're breathing so heavy like that?
Oh, I definitely do. I look at the priest and I look at Solgar and I say, we will take rest with you and ensure
Okay.
that you can stay pace with us.
You can see the captain turns. He's like,
A moment before that line comes out, you hear a
Wait, he's muted. No, you're muted. Oh no. Did we lose him?
am I?
Yeah, now we can hear you. All right, say it again. Say it again.
yeah.
You hear a
Every time he does the whip, it blocks out his voice.
Yeah.
Don't do the whip noise.
Don't do the whip
Just
noise.
tell us what you
Yeah, it
say.
overloads the mic, I guess.
Yeah, it
That's
stops the
crazy.
mic from working.
That's a good whip sound.
keep moving, you dogs. Less lounging around.
Oh my god.
I hiss at the whinging priest who have always suspected of being in league with the enemy.
I would raise my head. I go, no, Borgo. Stop, please.
Borgo, at that moment, you look over and you see the
He's-
captain almost
he's
collapsing on the ground.
Spare the rod, ruin the child.
It's lucky that Hrothgar's not here. That would have ended very poorly for him.
Sulgar puts hands on both of his knees. He's kind of bent over, kind of breathing. He looks up and he goes,
We Dragonborn are natural sprinters, not meant for running.
but at word of arrest, he would just nod his head breathlessly.
Okay, you guys move over
Oh.
to one of the buildings on the side, and Brother Derek kind of points to one. He's like, that house should be empty. There shouldn't be anyone in there. And he kind of goes over and he kind of opens the door. You can see that he enters.
So has anyone even noticed that Rothgar's not even with us? It's like
I honestly, Edward would be so concerned that Borgo's trying to whip you guys that he wouldn't even notice. Like at that point, I'm sure he'll eventually notice, but right now he doesn't know.
Probably once you all go in the building and rest for a second, you'll probably be like, wait a minute. Why is
it so
yelling?
quiet?
Yeah, why is
Yeah.
it so
Why is it
quiet?
so
There's
quiet?
no obnoxious noises being made.
I look at Solgar. Well, first, I survey the inside and the interior of the building, and I look to make sure that it's safe. So I start walking in rooms and opening up doors very quickly to ensure that we're safe.
Yeah, this is a small single-family home, but it's actually empty. It's dark. There's nothing in here. Not even like a table or chair or anything like that. It's actually just it's covered in dust. It's one of the houses that hasn't been occupied ever, as they have some houses that families had moved out on or left from behind.
At least we are safe. There appears to be no one here, nor has there been someone here for some time. Now, where's Hrothgar? Where's Hrothgar?
The captain's like he helped me get to you, and then he took off. Thank you. He kind of
You
looking at
run on
Hrothgar.
ahead, sir.
He's run ahead of us.
Yeah.
Ah, the fool. All right.
On the fool, we jump back to Hrothgar. Hrothgar, I see that you rolled a 5 for your survival or perception.
Survive.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. And you rolled a 10 for your perception. You're sitting there using your nose, trying to do everything you possibly can about finding the smell. You're still dealing with that gas smell that was permeating in you that made you vomit and throw up, but you managed to shake it off. But then you kind of hear kind of a
You know, I tried to like not fight for like 10 minutes. I tried. I really did. Badger helped me.
Yeah, you could tell the sound is coming from your left, and there's another sound coming from you straight ahead, but kind of to your left. So there's multiple sounds, and they're all making that, and it's coming towards you.
I've only been running in one direction, right?
No, those rolls were to determine randomly which directions you were running, and when you came to a position where you could turn.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I gotta use that. That's great, John.
I do the only thing Hrothgar knows how. He grumbles to himself, and he grabs one of the draughts. Like, son of a bitch.
Finally. All right, so
Yeah.
you pound your draughts. Yeah.
Yep. What does that give me?
This one is 2d4 plus 4.
Ooh.
And he picks up the axe, and he goes, hopefully they can hear the sound of my screaming. And then I
DM Death says, I'm sure something will hear the screams.
Thanks, buddy. You're super great.
7 hit points restored.
Yeah. So yeah, I pick up my axe and I ready myself, hoping my friends can find me. I mean, I'm gonna continue to try and smell my way back.
I have one question. Did you drop the longsword when you were running?
No. Oh, that's right. So I would have used the. Sorry, I'm so used to the axe at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have both the axe and the longsword. You're double-handed it right now.
So I put my 2 hands on the long sword, and I'm like, stupid elf weapon. And
are you just gonna wait for the sounds to come closer, or are you gonna move away from them?
I'm trying to follow the example of Lord Edic here, in that I will not engage unless I have to, because I'm trying to get back to my friends. Like every chance available, I'm gonna keep trying to smell for them, because that's the only thing I can think to do.
Okay, roll a d4 for me.
Okie doke.
As you move away from the sounds, you've tried to make a decision as to where you think your badger nose is leading you.
The spirit of the badger shall guide me.
Can you move 40 feet? Give me one more roll.
Oh, God.
I jump back to the other group after this. Okay, okay. You're moving along, trying to avoid those sounds. So you're kind of forcing you to kind of go one way, but you manage to now you don't hear the sound, so you figure you must be going in the right direction. Jump back to the group. Lord Edwick, Solgar, Borgo, Brother Derek, and the captain. You notice that as they are standing there, they're looking out. You're all kind of crouched around, kind of in a circular formation, kind of looking at each other. And as you're looking at the captain, he kind of like, yeah, thank you for saving me. Do you have any water? My mouth is dry.
Let me check my inventory for a second. I have no water.
Borgo has a barrel of water, if I remember right, on his.
He's been carrying a barrel of water, which at this point now is almost empty. As a group, you've been drinking a ton of the water, and you haven't been using any of the water or anything that you found around you.
Assuming it's all poisoned.
That's a smart assumption.
Hrothgar's not doing that, I am.
You going to share the water, Borgo?
Yeah, Borgo will give him some water, and he'll stuff a pipe with tobacco and say, some of the medicinal fumes from a pipe will give you a bit more stamina to run. I say, passing over the pipe.
He takes it. He's like, smart thinking, Borgo. You've always been a clever lad. He starts smoking the pipe while drinking the water.
Sulgar would reach over just before they light the pipe, and he would put his hand over the crown of the pipe, and he'd say, "Better we don't do that. They might smell it."
Damn it!
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry about that. So Sulgar would not want the dwarf, the bad guys, to
Lord Edwick is just listening to everyone. He hasn't said a word. His mind seems to be focusing on the fact that Hrothgar is not with us. And his noble blood is pulling it against him. He's struggling with the fact that he may need to leave this sanctuary that they found to go find his friend.
You see that Brother Derek looks up to you, specifically Lord Edwick and Solgar, and then kind of cursory at Borgo, but he's like, he kind of frowns and looks back towards you guys. I am. We should probably be heading out soon. I don't know how we can find your friends. He's like, but the matron, she can, when she has your scent, she can probably find us again.
Why have you not told us this before? Let us go now.
He's like, we needed to rest.
Fine. Forgive me. This is taking its toll on me. We must go. Thank you. Solgar, Borgo, arm yourselves. Let's get to the church.
Don't bother the lordship with your whining excuses, I said to the priest.
You see, unlike all the other times, Borgo, when you've yelled at him, he actually just kind of like stands up, and you notice that his knuckles turning white on his magical staff.
Oh.
And he's like, "You're right. Nobody should be whining. We're lucky to be alive. Let us go. Let us kill this preacher and take the items he has." And he's the first one out the door.
All right.
Do it.
Lord Edwick speaks to all of them as they start to walk out in a low tone, not in a very loud. And he says, "We will proceed with the leadership of the priest to the church. And while we are walking, we will see if we can hear any sign of Hrothgar, for the fog will not allow us to see very far. Let us continue quietly, listening for our friend."
Your group slowly moves off, trying to be as quiet as possible, being as stealthy as possible, as well as being perceptive to try to see if you can hear Hrothgar in the distance or anything like that. We jump back to Hrothgar. You're walking, and surprisingly, after what seems like forever, now that you're by yourself, time seems to go slower. As you're used to always having someone to talk at, and now it's just kind of silent, so you're stuck with what's in your brain, and that's probably not good. You find yourself...
You probably shouldn't have left him. I know. Why are you telling me? Shut up! No, you shut up!
As you get into the, you notice a large wooden structure in front of you, and there's tons of fish hanging from it. You think you found your way at least to the docks, which seems somewhat familiar to you, but you're not quite sure where to go from here. You do remember, actually, you know what? Make an intellect check.
Oh,
See if you
boy.
remember,
Here it
if you remember
goes.
anything the priest said.
Come on, do it.
Now, in your drunken stupor, you don't remember a damn thing the priest said. You know there was a lot of walking involved, and who really cared? He was crazy anyways.
So bad.
So, Rothgar, at this point in time, you can either we can continue to randomly walk in different directions, or you can.
That's it. I've had it. Hey! If anyone can hear this, come get me. Be ye undead or my friends.
Okay. You scream out as loud as you can. You guys hear the subtlest of yells coming from behind you down the road. Way back. I mean, way back from where you are. You've managed to get away in front of him. You hear him screaming. Not in pain. It just sounds like he's calling for someone. And then off to your left, you hear.
We do.
You do. Your group does. As apparently something else has heard the sound as well.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You would see Lord Edwick Boxthrone's face boiling red with anger as he realizes that his friend has placed them in danger yet a second time for his recklessness.
I was saving a man the first time today.
He hears the sound of whatever beast or ghoul is in or to the left or right of them. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. And he looks at Solgar and Borgo and he says, I will go back for Rothgar. You must go to the church. We have to get the weapons. We have delayed this too long. And if you survive and I don't, he picks himself and he straightens his shoulders out. He says, fine. But it appears that our friend needs help, and losing us all makes no sense. I will go back for Rothgar, Sulgar, and he looks at the priest. You and Borgo, go to the church. Get us weapons, and come back for us as soon as you can. And Lord Edwick turns away, doesn't even give them an opportunity to say anything. And he just starts walking towards back towards where he heard Rothgar.
Brother Derek immediately starts following you. Lord Edwick, we cannot. We're not a match. Without all of us, we can't take the...
And he is no match either. Please, go.
Then let us all go. Let's all go get your dwarf.
It's
always safer to stay together.
Edwick just completely loses it, and he says, we can no longer persist here without weapons. We need weapons. How far is the church from us right now?
He says it's 2 or 3 miles. Not that far.
Not that far. Not that far. Within 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, we will get there. Then we will have to get the weapons. Come back another 10 to 15 to reach this spot. By that time, close to an hour will have passed, and Hrothgar will be dead. I cannot allow that. I will allow you to go get those weapons, but I will not allow my friend to die alone.
He's like, I know the town the best. For you to make it, you would have the best chance if we find your dwarf friend to get you back. I will go. Your journey to the church is easy. You just follow the road.
Edwick looks at Solgar. What do you think?
Solgar's kind of slowly shaking his head back to side, and he goes, I think we should stay together. It'd be foolish for you to go. Be foolish for the priest to go too. We would just be diminishing our numbers.
And then he looks at Solgar. He interrupts him and he goes, And what of Hrothgar? Shall we go to the
Hroth-
church first or go get him first?
We go to the church. He is the fool that ran off. I will not have you die because of that fool.
And you would hear that crackling of the of electricity at the back of his throat.
And on the opposite side of where Sulgar is, Brother Dark's like, no, we should get the dwarf first. He has the magic sword.
So he would just growl at that.
Then let the priest go in. We will go to the church.
No. You hear a again. No effective ship was ever run by a committee. You heard the captain. We go this way, he goes that way. And Borgo walks off in the direction that Lord Edwick indicated.
Lord Edwick walks towards Solgar and he says, "We must hurry. You have to work on your tolerance of this. We must run to the church." And Lord Edwick starts to run, but he does not run so fast that he keeps Solgar out of his sight. Solgar has rested now, so he could probably keep up. So he's trying to get to the church as soon as he can, and he's just booking, trying to go.
So you've decided to leave the dwarf behind.
We have to
move
get
towards the church.
weapons. We can't survive. We need weapons.
Right.
We have to get the weapons. So we're running. So you say that it's 2 to 3 miles away. We are trying to run towards the church with the escort of the priest to get the weapons so we can help the dwarf as best as we
your
can.
As your group moves off, it's not more than 10 feet when you see a man with a small hole in his chest where it looks like something had punctured it, and he kind of like lumbers towards you. But your group just manages to run around him, not even really, not engaging him to keep going. Seems no reason to engage any of the zombies that you fight, as they're
Right.
really of no effect on fighting these.
Okay.
We jump to Hrothgar. So, Hrothgar, it appears that everyone has left you. Or dead. What do you do?
Knowing that at the very least, the docks was what was supposed to be behind me, I head on the road that looks most familiar, that has my back towards the docks, with my sword at the ready, and with my powerful lungs allowing me the breadth of movement that I so need. All the while looking for tracks of my friends.
All right, so you're gonna just run all out and just gonna, and if you see any undead, you're gonna run around them, not engaging them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me.
Did you go north, west, or east?
Oh my god.
Or south?
Well, I mean, I know what direction I'm going. Like, it's just I'm heading very straight, at least, hopefully.
You're in a fog, though, so there's
Yeah. There's no directional. Like when you're on the road, it was fine because you're on paving stones. You kind of know, they're squared off. You can see which direction they move. You got a 3.
DM Death, it has been 2 hours. I'm probably going to need a bio break soon. Just want to give you a heads up.
Okay.
Why don't you give them a bio break while I try and find some evidence of them?
Okay.
Well, DM Death will also have to evacuate the Hades. So
Yeah. All right. So do you guys want to reconvene? It's 1:38 right now, or 1:39 right now. Do you guys want to come back at like 1:45 or 1:50?
Yeah.
Let's do 1:50. We'll take a break, and we'll be back as soon as possible. Just gonna take this is roll with advantage. Everybody's here. Everybody wave goodbye, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Bye.
DM Death ways.
Everybody's ready, so we're going to go back
I get to see Caius this time. Which
to
is
Sailor's Delight. Here we go. DM Death, you are on.
okay, Hrothgar. So you were running in random directions.
No, I was running away from the docks.
Yes. So in your mind, you're running from the docks in a random direction. As you find yourself running into what looks like a small fence that lines perhaps a field. As you're looking down, there's this grayish grass that goes off in the distance. It seems darker. You can go right or you can go left. Which direction do you want to go? You can go right or you can go left.
Left.
So you turn left and you begin moving down the road. You kind of hear those sounds behind you that as apparently you're doing circles around these zombies that just happen to be moving around the area. And suddenly you hear the sounds of footsteps coming your way. Something heavy, and alongside maybe several other things with booted feet moving towards your direction. What do you do?
Is there any place around me I could hide in? It hurts every fiber of my being to say that.
To your right is that fence. You're actually following the fence along, so there's a field or something there. You can hop over the fence and hide.
It's a solid fence, right?
No, it's like one of those old wooden ones where there are posts and then just two posts going across. So you could hop over it easy or go under it. There's also to your left, there's a house that you could probably go into. There's several houses in a row all lined up.
Okay. I go inside of the house after looking in windows if I can to make sure that there's nothing in there already. I can see.
Okay. Make a stealth check and a perception check for me.
I'm going to make the perception check first. Just the... That's a 17.
Make your stealth check, so I know.
Oh, that's actually not terrible. That's not... hey, 16! Hey! Oh, please.
As you go up to the window, you kind of pop your head up looking over it, which you have a little bit of trouble as it's a little bit of height advantage. It just happens to be a higher section of the house. As you're looking over it, you see a disaster, a horrific scene of a table with food that just slashed and splashed in all directions. You see a body has been ripped open and completely flayed open. The knives just jammed into every single piece of the body. You can't tell whether it's male or female at this point. It's just been so hacked to pieces. And you can see hanging from the ceiling, you see several arms and legs that are just hanging from chains in the house.
So assumedly, everything in there is dead. Dead.
DM Death says go ahead and check.
I mean, it's either that or I'm gonna probably meet one of the big baddies because they have booted feet and I go inside the house.
All right. So you push the door open and it easily opens. It's only like half ajar as it is, and you kind of go in, you kind of close it and lock the latch down. It doesn't lock, it just has a latch that goes down and stops it. And you kind of stand at the doorway looking at the horrific image that's in front of you of the blood and guts that are just sprayed and thrown around the room. You now see there's several torsos of bodies, missing heads, laying on the ground, probably attached, that would have been attached to the arms and legs that are just off to the sides, just splayed in all directions. I need the group, Edric, Solgar, and Borgo. I need you guys to make perception checks for me.
Jesus.
Did I somehow get in front of them? Because I'm gonna laugh if I do.
Solgar notices nothing.
One of you, please, just notice me. Said, "Oh my God."
2
Anyway,
5s.
sees nothing. Come on, Borgo.
Borgo's gonna be the one who doesn't say anything.
Borgo.
Because he hates me.
7.
Okay, can one of the NPCs not fail?
Well,
please?
the priest has to go.
The captain rolled a 9.
Oh boy.
And the priest rolled a 2.
Oh my god! You are stuck.
Wow, you are cursed. Hrothgar, you hear the sounds as you get your back to the door, kind of holding it back. You hear the sound of these booted feet moving across, then something very heavy kind of hitting.
Is there a window?
There's the window that you had looked in. I mean, you can leave the door and kind of go and try to look through the window. But I mean, anything looking at the window would see you because the light comes in the window.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna. Can I roll another stealth check to see if I can do it stealthily, or is there no?
Oh, you want to go look out the door? No, your stealth check is still holding, so you go.
I would like to be stealthy and see what is making that noise.
So you go over and you kind of pop up and look over the window. You're not sure. You see several humanoid-shaped beings moving off the way you had come up the road, and they're moving down the road now.
Hrothgar is dumb enough. Yeah, I follow them, and I'm gonna try and get close.
You gonna leave the house?
Yeah, because it's humanoid figures. It's several of you guys together. So I'm like, oh, that's vague enough to be my friends.
Mm.
All right. So as you leave, you're moving stealthily behind the group, trying to see. Just you don't want to run up because you're not sure. You're just to be safe. And then it doesn't take long for you to hear that thundering step. That's actually Solgar, the way he walks, because he's got the dragon-like feet.
Thank God. When I noticed that,
and you see your group behind them as they're moving, obviously looking for you. They seem very perceptive, but they seem to all be looking in one direction, which is not in your direction.
When I notice it's Solgar, I'm like, you giant lizard! I missed your footsteps! And I run up behind him and I jump on him.
Oh, Jesus. So Hrothgar is now on your back, Solgar.
He's a pretty hardy dwarf. I imagine he would knock Sulgar right over. Even for a dragonborn, he's not very big.
The two of you easily tumble to the ground. Unharmed, of course, but...
Somehow, I made it in front of you. You guys are slow. I'm a dwarf. What's happening here?
As Sulgar's disentangling himself from Hrothgar and standing up, he's probably thinking, well, that's the end of that piece. But he would say,
glad to see that you're well, dwarf.
Me too. The spirit of the badger never guides you wrong.
Yes, fine. Look, where is the church? Lord Edwick looks at the priest. How far are we?
Brother Derek, he's like, we're farther along, but yes, we can just go back up the road quickly. He points his staff.
Okay.
I now keep pace with my slower compatriots. Awesome. I've learned my lesson.
So Brother Derek takes the lead as he's moving along, and even to the point where a couple times a zombie would step out of the road and he would just kind of use his staff to just push it over so you guys could just walk around it, not even having to deal with it.
There's that dice.
You come to an intersection to where you can go left or right. As a group, you can actually see it. It's one of these areas where the road opens and you got the 20-foot distance. You can tell. The priest, without thinking, turns right and starts heading up that road.
All right.
As you follow along, you notice the road kind of cuts off and left. You see to your left most part, as it kind of cuts around that corner. To your right, there seems to be just this wooden fence that seems to be like opened up into some sort of field. And that's been pretty prevalent the whole time you've been walking since you made the first turn. But on your left, you see what looks like a tree, and hanging from it are 5 different bodies that are just hanging there, but they seem to be kind of moving as if they're still alive, dangling there.
Where is the church?
Brother Derek, he's just staring at the tree, but he's like, farther along, come. And then you move along. I mean, you have quite a distance, obviously. You've got miles to travel, so...
Look, I have no concern for what we will encounter here. I need that church. We need weapons.
What he said.
You find yourself going up a steady grade now, as there's nothing around you but a hill and what looks like grassland to your left and to your right. That fence that I said that was on the right side of the road is still there, and it continues up. You find yourselves now, maybe, I don't know, after traveling for about 25, 30 minutes, the priest stops and he says, the whispers kind of gets low and says, the church is just up here. He's like, we got to go up the hill. He's like, the cemetery is behind the church to the left. But the church proper is farther up a ways.
So we must pass the cemetery to get to the church.
No, we'll skirt the edge of it. But if we move quickly, I think we'll be safe. We just don't want to enter the cemetery. I just don't want anyone running in that direction. If you're going to run, don't.
Edwig looks immediately at Rothgard. He says, stay with us. No, yep. He says, stay with us and do not make a sound. If these undead that we see everywhere are sourced from any particular spot, it would be the cemetery. Now let's go quietly. So, Lord Edwig, slowly, actually, I would say that he would probably be moving at a fast pace, considering what he had just dealt with his friends, and he wants to get to that church. He wants to pass the cemetery quietly, not make a sound. He wants to get to those weapons.
Okay, so I need everyone to make a stealth check at this point.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Stealth check.
Watch me botch this one.
As you guys roll, you are all moving up as quietly as you possibly can be as you head towards the front of the church. And this is just a standard stone-built church that you would find like in the Americas or whatever from the early pioneer ages. It does have a second floor with a small chapel on the top with you're assuming some sort of bell, but you're not sure. You see that the double doors, one of which is actually half open in front. Wow, look at all the sevens you guys got. So
Lord Edric's invisible though.
That sucks. 3-2.
At least I wasn't the one. The silence.
So as a group, it's one of those things where even you know that you failed. Just between heavy breathing, tripping over the rocks and the dirt that's in the area, and just moving up to the building itself, you feel that you've kind of given your position away to anyone that was in there. You see there's a window on the left side of the staircase where you are, but there's also the two double doors, which do not have windows, but one of them is ajar.
So we are in the front of the church. This is what we see.
Yes. Yeah. So you skirted around the cemetery. You think no problem, though you weren't very stealthy. So if there was something there, probably could see you. But
all right. Well, then if that's the sentiment, then I'm going to open up the double doors of the church and go inside.
All right. So you smash open. Well, not smash.
Well, open. No.
Smashes.
I did not smash it.
So I was thinking in my head you took the door, but you didn't. You totally just opened it. So you open the door. Before you see double set of rows of pews, 14 deep, going towards the center of a dais with a podium above it, which standing up with a railing around the whole back of the church. You see standing up in front of that is a man with flowing blonde hair. You see his chest is out, which has a blackened mark on his chest as if something had burned him. You see he's holding his hands up and he's in some sort of prayer. Nailing around the whole front of him is 6 humanoid creatures. They look more like zombies than they do the ghouls that you've come across. But they just seem to also be in prayer. They're not moving. They're just bent over, kneeling. Right to your right, though, you see what looks like on the ground. You see what looks like a suit of plate mail armor that's been stacked down, the front of which has been burned off. It's actually concave and there's a hole in it, probably where the symbol of Sestair was, you're guessing. But it's been destroyed, and it's just resting there. And that's it.
I look at the priest, and I look at the priest, and I do not speak, but I just mouth what I'm going to say, and I go, if you could see what I'm saying, I go,
He kind of, as you're looking, he turns to you and he whispers quietly. He's like, behind the podium, there's a hatch that goes down to the basement.
And then I say to him, "Are you kidding?"
He's like, no. And he's like, I will distract them if you wish to go down there.
Hrothgar looks at him and goes,
Are there any light sources, candles, lamps, or anything?
No, in this room is not. But even though this building is more than 40 feet long, you can see across the whole building. Very similar to when you were in the barn. For some reason, the radius of the fog is not limiting here. Perhaps something is like giving them better vision.
But what I'm saying is, what was the form of illumination that the church used to have? Are there lanterns that are unlit?
Oh, for the church? There are. Yeah. There's chandeliers above, 2 chandeliers above, as well as many sconces along the walls.
And the sconces have lanterns in them?
They have candles, but yeah. But the candles are there, definitely.
Candles, no lanterns.
Yeah. There's also a font on the back right of the building from your position when you're looking. As you're looking, you hear, "Welcome. Is it time for you to join us?"
I look over at Lord Eric and I'm like, just make sure to get me a maul, okay? I got this.
Fine.
I walk over, pull out my sword, and I go, no, it's time for you to go back to sleep. And I start walking towards him.
You hear he's like, "We shall see." And he puts his hands down, he pulls them up, and you notice he pulls this huge two-handed sword out. And as he's holding it, greenish energy flows across the edges of the blade. At the same time, those kneeling zombies all kind of turn up. They're like, "Rrr." They turn and face you.
And I go, come on, let's do this man to man. Don't bring your little sissies. I'm letting mine hand back.
Does anybody have a lantern or any form of oil on them? And I would say this in character. I would say, we need fire now. Who has oil? Anything?
The only lantern the group has come across was the one that you used to set the fire in the barn. Because that's the only one you looked for, technically.
Damn!
Gosh darned.
Fine. Lord Edwick takes his staff. He has not had a rest. He is spent. He has no spells whatsoever, except for his cantrips. So he waits. He's not going to charge. It seems silly at this point to charge. They're on the opposite side of the building. They all have to come, and as they come, I can approach and take some form of defensive stance against them, and then see what I can do. So Lord Edwick would just wait. Definitely. Wait.
Okay, so I'm gonna pop initiative. For Hrothgar, you're front in the room, but everyone else is initiative. No, Solgar, no.
All right, should I roll? Should I roll?
Yeah, everyone can roll.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. But, yeah, I challenged him, like, personally. I don't know if he's going to take to it. Mm-hmm. But, just throwing that out there.
Putting that out there. 6.
Oh, please.
And you guys are...
How far off? This is like, would you say 45 feet to the altar?
It's 45 feet to the altar, and then 10. It's actually one of those old high ones where you have to go. It goes up like it's a set of ladder. It's a small set of stairs that go up. So he's like 8 feet up above the ground.
Stealth man, do some stealth things.
Borko is like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. So, Edwick.
No, hold up. I gotta do the initiative. All right, so brother Derek manages to go first with a 19. So brother Derek turns. He's like, "Seal that door, close it, prevent anything from coming in." And he steps forward and he like points his finger and he's like, "Sir Victor Albright, I challenge you with my friend the dwarf." And he's like, "Sustair will punish you now." And he moves forward right up to the nearest zombie and attacks it.
Is Borgo's human?
Borgo's half orc.
Half orc. Okay, that's right.
Are we gonna do that thing where we slowly go up to the boss, destroying all his minions along the way? Because I love that. It's my favorite thing.
It looks like that's what he's trying to do as he runs up and smashes it with his magical staff. You see the creature's head kind of lolls to the side with a snapping, crunching sound, but its arms still are out as if it's still functioning, which you've faced against the zombies before. They're tough absorbers of damage. The preacher smiles, looks down. He's like, "Oh, I don't think I have to do anything but kill you in the name of my God." And then he stops for a second and he prays, and you hear him say, "Talax and Noir." And you notice his body is covered with a somewhat shield-looking energy, as if it's some sort of protective magics have covered him. But they have that sickly green look to them. Who goes after him? Borgo, you are up, sir. I think you're muted.
Borgo likes it when people give him commands, so he takes the cutlass that he's picked up somewhere and uses it to wedge. If there's a sort of bolt hole or anything on the door, he's using it to bolt the door. Well, if there is a bolt on the door, he'll just use that. But if not, he'll wedge the door closed with his cutlass.
Yeah, in fact, when you do turn, you do see that the door has a bolt built on it specifically that you can push down that locks the doors.
So his action will be to lock the door, and then because he's swift and nimble as a rogue action, he sort of jumps onto the back of the sort of pews I'm imagining that are lying in the chair, and he's sort of and he's trying to stay out of the way of the zombies and get round to the altar. He's sort of just dodging on the top of the pews, moving out of the way of people, taking a dash action to get up to the altar.
Okay, so the zombies, the way that they're positioned, are completely surrounding the front of the altar. So there's no way to technically to get around them.
Okay.
Well, not normally, but I mean, there are chandeliers, and you do have a whip. I'm just saying. I've seen movies.
Indiana Jones, let's go!
It's got to be done.
Dun 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 dun! Breaks his ass.
No,
dun,
shush!
Dun, dun, dun.
You shush! Bad hexing.
Yep.
Though you may not want to actually do that this round, and I'm thinking if you really think about it.
You can whip one of the zombies.
Yeah, you're well within range, standing on top of the pews where you are.
Okay, I'll sort of dance forwards on the top of the pews, whip a zombie, and move back out of range.
Okay, yeah, I mean, they can't get to you anyways because of the pews. You could tell that if they moved forward, they would they would just bounce. They're not smart enough to climb over the pews.
So would this be like a regular church where they'd have to go down the main aisle or down off the sides?
Yes, or the sides. Yep. Yeah. So technically, you could outrun the zombies all day long. Here it would be easy.
I hit an AC 12.
You absolutely did. Yep. Yeah.
So
and are you going for the same one that brother Ed?
Yeah.
Brother...
If there's an injured one, I'll go for that.
Okay. I have a quick question, John. Didn't they actually take a short rest when they were stopping the running?
No, it was more of a rest to catch your breath, not a rest for. They didn't wait an hour, which is a short rest. God, you would have been so lost if they waited an hour.
Just checking every house. Hello? Nope. Zombies. Hello? Nope. More zombies.
So I did a total of 14.
Holy shit!
Uh,
All right, so your whip lashes out, and what does it do? How does it take this creature out?
okay. As it's Borgo is an excellent person for timing. So the moment that the priest smashes his staff into him, Borgo's whip catches the zombie's ankle, and there's some jerk. It's pulled off its feet and lands with its chin on one of the pews, and its teeth are just driven into its skull.
Nice. So,
And its skull breaks.
A trip with a curb stomping on a pew. Nice. Excellent. All right,
And then
so
he skips back a bit, watching the rest.
Solgar, probably pretty amazed at how agile the Borgo is, leaping back and forth on top of pews.
Now Solgar has laser focus. He walks up the center aisle behind, following the lead of Brother Derek. He goes about maybe 10, 12 feet, and as he does so, he's got his hand stretched out before him, and he's just in a draconic language. He's just mumbling. He's like, "Oh, it's cause of the class," and there's this rumbling, this very slight rumbling sound coming from the edge of the church, and it kind of rumbles across underneath the floorboards, and then there's like a and then a snapping of floorboards as this large soiled hand explodes up out of the floor and grasps around one of these zombies. And as he's doing that with his hand, and there's almost like this dust dropping from his hands as he's doing it, and it has to make a DC 14 strength save or be restrained.
Okay, so you rolled a 6, so he doesn't.
All right, perfect. So I'll do some damage first. So he'll take 6 bludgeoning damage as this hand starts to crush the zombie.
The hand bursts from the ground, grasping the zombie, who just struggles, doesn't make any sounds besides the moaning that they all make, and it just kind of shakes itself around.
And he continues to chant, and he still has his hand out, and he's just like, as he's closing his own hand, it's crushing on this zombie, and that's how he'll end his turn.
Okay. So you can maintain it, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Oh, well, then I will focus on another one.
Lord Edwick?
Okay, Lord Edwick will make a ranged spell attack of Ray of Frost, and he doesn't have any inspiration, so this is just, we're going to see if he can actually do this. At the zombie that was last attacked, did it die? The one that Solgar took over?
No, but it looks like Solgar is like continually got it in a grasp that's going to crush it eventually.
All right, so
You
I'll
should attack something else.
Yeah, I'll go to the next zombie then. Okay, so it will be we'll see if this works. Hopefully it works. 1d20 plus 1. 15 for the next zombie.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it easily hits the zombie, yeah.
Okay, well, hold on a second. I'm also going to engage the following, which is my meta magic twin spell. I'm going to spend 3 sorcery points and hit 4 zombies.
Hell yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
It's like, you're like, stop. It's like the spirit gun.
So that's 4 zombies for 8 hit points each.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Did you use 3 of your sorcery points?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just kind of done.
Yeah, I mean, I after that, I'm like, I can't.
No, I meant like emotionally.
No more magic, please. I'm absolutely spent.
Let's see. They get a save. No, if you
They
hit
don't
them,
get no save.
and their movement's cut in half, right?
Yeah. Their
Which is
movements, they're
pathetic as it
slowed.
is. Yeah. Yeah, you see 4 of the creatures, their bodies just are lined with frost. And they seem to kind of move, and they do. It makes kind of crunching sounds, and the skin seems to crack and pierce as they move.
Yeah.
Hrothgar?
All right, Hrothgar looks at the green guy as he's taking a swing at one of the zombies, and he goes, "I got a prayer for you. Kiss my ass." And I'm going to strike at one of the zombies and hope that I don't miss. So I'm going to actually take a reckless attack.
Every time.
I am engaging my rage, by the way.
Oh,
That's happening.
Okay.
I assume we're going to rest after this, as everybody else is kind of drained. And yes, every time. He has the spirit of the badger within him. He can't give a crap. Okay, so 17, which I assume hits. And now I'm using the sword with 2 hands. So that's 1d10. That's 4 is 11. And I'm hitting one of the ones that was hit by frost, I assume.
Yeah, so you hit the one right in front of you, which was hit with frost. You bring your blade down, kind of hitting it. There's a crunching, crashing sound as it splits in half, breaking apart as much as just kind of slicing through it. It kind of hits the ground into a frozen pile of blood and viscera.
Hrothgar's mouth kind of like curls into a smile.
You see the captain lunges up beside you, slashing at the nearest guy. Oh, he rolled a 2.
He rolled a 2?
Yeah, so his blade goes a little wide, kind of deflects off the creature's shoulder.
I've got
not doing
it!
any real damage.
All right.
And then we move back to the top. Brother Derek. You see, he also swings at one of the ones that is covered in frost, and the creature's head actually shatters, leaving nothing left except for just a body with a decapitated body. It falls to the ground.
Dope.
How many are left?
There are 3 left.
3 left.
One is clasped in a hand that Sulgar is crushing, and then 2 more that are covered in frost. That you.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, excellent.
So Borgo, you're up. You can see 2 frozen zombies and one being crushed by a hand. One of them is actually being threatened by the captain, or technically vice versa. They're both threatening each other, I guess, technically.
Rah!
Borgo looks up at the chandeliers that are hanging there. Can he see any? Mechanism, any ropes to lower the chandeliers to replace the candles and things? That
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can see. You look up and you trace it, and one comes down on the right side, one comes down on the back on the left side. You can see that there are ropes tied off and then wrapped around almost like a turnbuckle.
So, and the one that's near me, looking up at the chandelier, does it look like any of the zombies or the Green Knight might walk under the chandelier anytime soon in the next round? Does it look as though it's a possibility?
No. The chandelier that you're closest to, or the other one, are above the center part of where the walkway is. And so technically, like where Hrothgar is standing and the captain, that would be where they would drop.
So if it comes down on Hrothgar.
In that area, right in that front section, it would hit. I mean, except that they killed the 2 zombies that were there, that could have hit the zombies that were there.
Don't worry, keep your eye on the chandelier.
Or if, just so for future, or if say the knight jumps down, he would if he comes right in that front area, that's exactly where he would stand if he engages Hrothgar right there.
Okay, I'm going to stay by the chandelier rope with a readied action. If the knight gets into a position where he's under it, I'm going to cut it and run and use the chandelier, the rope going up and the chandelier coming down to try and get sort of swing around the side of them and land the chandelier on his head.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right.
Since I'm short,
Awesome.
it'll hit him first.
Yep.
Yes, he'll absorb most of the damage.
That is awesome.
Okay, so the knight, well, first the zombie in front of the captain attacks. He misses. The other one lunges forward, slashing at Hrothgar. And he rolled a 10, which is a miss.
Yes.
Then the knight looking down now, you notice that armor that you had seen temporarily that had formed has now disappeared and it's invisible. But you're assuming the protection is still there. His blade is still glowing with that sickly green energy. He kind of leaps down, landing on the ground, and strides right towards Hrothgar, right towards Brother Derek, who's beside the Hrothgar, getting to attack. But Borgo, you cut the rope, man. So you slash it, and I guess make an athletics check or an acrobatics, your choice. Either one of those, as you're riding the rope, trying to get into a better position, where you can attack him as the chandelier comes down on the three of them.
So,
That was inspirational, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
That was
Cough!
but no, I'm going to use my inspiration actually for this one. See if I can get a better roll.
And since you use your inspiration, I can give you another inspiration.
21. Yes.
Awesome. Roll your make a reflex. It's not reflex. Dexterity saving throw.
Actually, I'd like to use the knight getting hit by this, or not. His distraction is what I want. To strike at him and keep him in place while the chandelier comes down.
So you want to just accept the damage to try to give him disadvantage on his saving throw?
And also hit him with an attack. My point is keeping him there with my sword.
Well, you can't attack him because it's not your turn. But
okay.
If you want to forego your saving throw to take damage and then give him disadvantage on his save, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Basically, you distract him. You're going to accept it, but you're hoping that he forces him to lose his saving throw.
Yep.
That what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it,
man.
So he rolled an 18 and a 5. So yep, your disadvantage.
Yeah!
Your disadvantage works, so he takes full damage. I mean, you take full damage too, but that's whatever. It's only a 800-pound chandelier. It's not a big deal.
I'm Hrothgar.
That's true. That's true. You are Hrothgar, and you are raging. All right, so both of you take 12 points of damage.
I laugh.
I laugh at your 12 points.
And because you failed your saving throws, you guys are pinned underneath the chandelier. Brother Derek bows out backwards. Kind of rolls out of the way. He gets clipped by it, but it doesn't seem to pin him as he managed to get out of the way. And Borgo, with that roll, where do you want to land? You can land anywhere you want within range.
On the altar.
All right, so you are now
on the altar.
Somehow Borgo rides the rope up and just lands ever so lightly on the altar. He's now above the combat, well within whipping range of anybody. And as you're standing there, you look down and you can clearly see a small latch that probably opens up and goes down into the underhold.
Okay, so who's next?
Solgar, it's your turn.
Yeah.
All right. Sulgar, as a free action, would just yell to Borgo, "Get the weapons!" And as he's slowly walking forward and just closing his fist tighter and tighter to crush that zombie, it has to make another strength save.
Ooh, it rolled 18 plus 2 is 20.
Okay, so it'll take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as he can't quite squeeze him as tight as he would like. And he's just going to move forward probably about another 10 feet. So he's just slowly walking forward as he's doing this.
He's doing the nice.
Yeah, the whole Darth Vader.
Lord Edwick?
Ray of Frost one more time to the remaining zombie that took the first aid. That is left to be killed, I should say.
Okay.
All right. That's a
Natural 20? Oh, no, it's 19.
That's a 19.
Yeah.
And the damage, I should have rolled this. Actually, the damage is, 8 damage. 8 points of damage. As I'm casting the cantrip, I'm walking forward towards the pew. And what Solgar would notice is that, unbeknownst to him, the Fox Thrones have draconic bloodline in them, but very distant. So he starts speaking in draconic. So Solgar would notice that as he's casting this spell, he's casting them in draconic. So you could see the bolt, but within the bolt, you can see like dragon scales in the ice coming in and killing the guys.
Nice. Yeah, as it splashes in, it just blasts the creature, burning a hole in its chest, and it just falls to the ground, and then shatters.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces everywhere.
Awesome. So how many are left?
There's one being held in the stone grip.
And that's it?
By Solgar. Yeah, it looks bad. I mean,
Okay, so then for my move action, is the guy with the burning blade under the chandelier?
You mean Hrothgar?
With Hrothgar?
Yeah.
He's pinned. For my final action,
Yes.
I walk up to that guy that's pinned in the chandelier, and I take his sword from him.
Okay, so you're going to have to fight him for it, but yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
Make an opposed athletics check.
Okay.
Can I give him an advantage?
No, you're pinned. You can't do
Okay.
anything.
Do an eye rake. Do like eye rake across his face or something.
I rolled a 12. I don't have it. Nobody has inspiration they can give me, do they?
I do. Wait, no, I don't. I use it.
Borgo has one.
Borgo, let me brawl. All right.
Go on.
I need that sword.
Yep.
Fucking ass.
Game captain.
2. Rolled a 2.
You reach down.
Give me the sword.
In a way, it makes sense that you're trying to pull this 6-foot sword, this two-hander out beneath a massive chandelier.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll
it's kind of
accept
hard
that.
to pull it out.
I'll accept that.
You know, it's not
And
as much that he was holding it as it was just stuck.
My free action is give me that blasted sword, you cursed being.
What he said.
So, all right, I'm done.
All right, after Hrothgar, you are up, my friend.
No, I'm down. I pinned down.
Yes, you are.
All right. So he's there with me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're both under the pile of metal and cast iron and wax. That's the
Okay. So I have my sword in my hand. Can I see his body?
Yeah, I mean, technically, you can see him. It's not, you're seeing him through the.
I'm going to start jabbing my sword into his body as we're both pinned there, because I know that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move the chandelier to prevent. It's preventing you from moving in any effective way. You can't.
Right, you're pinned, so you
Can
can't.
can I get out from under the chandelier without also freeing dude?
Absolutely. Yeah, you getting free is not gonna automatically free him.
So what do I need to roll?
You just have to you gotta make an athletics versus the DC, and then if you can pick it up and.
What's the DC?
DC 15.
Plus.
When in doubt, say 15.
Yeah. It's always 15.
22, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so you pick up the edge, kind of shimmying your way out, kind of bench pressing it as you're moving along, and you pull yourself up and stand up. So, I mean, that's your action. You can move if you want.
Stand on top of the chandelier.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I was gonna do. I get on top of the chandelier, and I position myself to just start thrusting my sword down into this guy's face.
Okay. So you get in position, straddling the guy, ready to jam your blade into him. All right. That sounds good.
That's hot.
You see the captain moves over to the creature that's being held in the grasped hand.
Well, maybe he can hit it this time.
He does have advantage because it is considered restrained.
Oh yeah, he might roll a natural 20. So
Yeah, shush.
and I rolled 2 18s. Holy crap!
Hey,
It only had 3 hit points. So he slashes out, taking its head, cutting a whole side of the head off. Its head just kind of slides down, the brain being exposed. And then your hand crushes it, finishes it off, and just kind of drops it onto the ground. The husk of the being that was once a person of this town. Okay. Let's see, Brother Derek stands up.
Come on, Brother Derek.
Kind of jumps up onto the chandelier right beside you. He just takes his staff and he just brings it down, just jamming it into the creature. 14's a hit. You see when he hits him, there's a greenish spark, almost like an explosion, except that instead of his staff being deflected, it kind of goes in and actually hits him. And you guys, ugh.
That's it, Brother Derek. Keep it up.
You hear the mumbling. Sister will guide us. Sister will guide us. Borgo, you're up.
Hearing Silgar's words, he flips back the clasp on the altar and disappears down the steps. But just before he's out of sight, he pauses for a second, and his head turns back to the Dragonborn and says, "You're not my captain, Newt Breath." And then he goes down under.
Well, just
dang.
I don't want to.
Savage.
I hate to stop you, but when you go to pull the grate up, you notice that there's a keyhole that's locking it. So you pull the bar up and pull it so you can open it.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll just rip it open when I'm done.
I can pick the lock, man. He's Borgo.
He's a rogue. That's something he can do.
Borgo pulls out of his plait. He goes feeling through his plait until he finds a hairpin. Has a look, and sort of once he's realised that he can't, he's just muttering curses, and he'll try and pick his way through the lock.
Sure, go ahead.
Come on, Borgo.
Do it.
What is the
difficulty?
or the skill you need me to use? I mean,
I'm pretty
Dex?
sure
It's Dex.
stealth. I think it's stealth for.
No, it would be
A sleight of hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you don't have a lock. You don't have lock picks, so you don't get the +2. I don't think.
Yeah.
Is there a +2 for real lockpicks?
Yeah, if you had lock picks, you'd get +2 on top of it.
Okay.
Basically, he's saying
No, I
you
only get an
don't get your
arrow.
proficiency bonus. Basically, what he's saying.
Oh,
You do it.
man.
Right.
Actually, Borgo, make a perception check at the same time you make your roll for. So I'm assuming that 9 is for your lockpick.
Yep.
Mhm.
So you stick it in, and it kind of makes a snapping sound. You're like, getting a little angry at this as you had your awesome thing you wanted to say when you jumped down the hole, but you turn around, and as you're looking, you see hanging right underneath the podium on the inside where the books are and stuff. It's the key hanging right there.
And where the books are, and I'm just suddenly the rage of Grumsh descends on me, and I start ripping apart books,
Oh,
just
Jesus.
tearing them to pieces.
So on your side, you
Stop
see
it.
books are flying around, going in all directions.
Solgar and Edwick look at each other like Shrek and Donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm Shrek.
I'll be Donkey. I'll be Donkey.
Okay.
Borgo, you put the key in, and you notice that when you open it up, it opens up easily. And there's a ladder going down, so you can take it down. And then you can say your cool thing still. But I'm like, is he going to look for the key? Probably not. He's really just going to.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You hear straining as the pinned preacher pushes and with surprising strength pushes the chandelier and slides himself out from under it, and then stands up. But you get an attack of opportunity. Brother Derek gets an attack of opportunity. Lord Edward gets an attack of opportunity.
All right. I'm going to make it a reckless attack of opportunity.
Oh, you can't.
Oh, okay. Never
Unless
mind.
you had done a reckless last. Did you do reckless last time?
Of course I did.
Okay, so yes, that carries through then.
Do I get any bonuses from the attack of opportunity or anything? Is it just a standard hit?
No, it's just a standard attack.
All right, baseball bat time.
Nice.
I missed him. 13 with 5.
13 plus 5 or
No,
13 with 5. Yeah, no, 13 misses.
I missed as well then.
And
Son
so
of a
did
bitch.
Yeah, brother, he got a 12. So yeah, so all of you swing at him, and somehow his magical energies are protecting him as your blades and staffs just kind of bounce off around.
you cursed being, stay
I want
still.
the last thing you to say is a freaking badger ripping your face apart.
What the dwarf said.
You see, he laughs in your faces, and then just readies himself to fight. He doesn't even retreat. He just stays there.
My lord, Tolek Zanwar will kill you all.
Sulgar?
Sulgar's attention shifts from the dead zombie, and the hand slides across the floor and grasps at the priest, and he has to make a strength save.
The preacher?
Yeah, the preacher.
Oh, Jesus. All right, he rolled a 2, so 5,
Whoa.
that's enough.
So he would be restrained, so this thing would grasp all the way around him, pinning his arms to his side, and he takes 7 bludgeoning damage.
No, I don't have to use reckless attack.
And
I-
and Solgar would continue to move forward. Again, that dust is dropping from his hand as he's clenching it.
So you have the priest, the guy with the green sword, grasped right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
he's restrained.
dude, if he's restrained, does he still have the weapon in his hand?
It does, but
Yeah.
he can't.
Okay.
He can't swing it or anything.
He can't swing it. Okay.
Until he breaks free.
Yeah, so Lord Edward, you are up next. As
I
his massive hand clasps him and opens the air.
Do I have to expend an action since it is restrained to get the weapon out of its hand?
Yeah, because technically the weapon is kind of pinned against him in the grasp of the stone.
Just beat the shit out.
All right, double-handed baseball swing from Brooklyn. Here we go. Boom.
Boom, bada
Nothing.
boom, bad. Nope.
Do
You
I
have advantage?
I have advantage. All right, and do it again. Bada big, 23. That's a
Hey!
natural
Nat
20.
Nat 20.
So roll another
What
D8.
are you doing there? What was that damage?
Boom. So that's 11 damage right in his freaking skull.
Yes. It's a Cleveland steamer you just dropped
That's
in his
right.
face.
All right.
Surprisingly, even as you're this close to him, as you're winding up to hit him, you can see that burn in his chest is like oozing blood and stuff, almost like he was injured prior, which is surprising to you. But it doesn't stop you from flashing his fucking skull. And as you bring your quarterstaff across, you hit him solidly right across the bridge of his nose. His face collapses in at an angle, wrapping itself almost around your quarterstaff as you yank it free. And his last breath is he falls down.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, he's
Dang
crouching.
it. All right, when he falls down, Hrothgar's just gonna be on top of him, stabbing his face.
Get the sword, Hrothgar.
What?
Get the sword. The
Oh,
glowing
okay.
flame thing.
I go, yeah. All right. I pick up the sword.
When you grab the blade, immediately the flames launch. They climb up your arm, burning you.
What?
You take 7 points of necrotic damage.
I drop the sword and I go, no, sword bad.
You notice when the sword hits the ground, the green flames go back out.
And I look at Derek, still like kind of enraged. I keep kicking the corpse and I go, destroy sword!
Brother Derek is like just leaning on his staff, breathing heavy. He's like, we killed him. we can get the items and equipment. And as I say that, I switch to Borgo. As you climb into a thing, you have dark vision, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So as you,
but I think so. Our folks.
Yeah, half-orc has dark vision.
Yep.
So you immediately look around. You see what looks like a weapons rack as well as an armor rack. You see a beautiful made longsword, several shields, a suit of chainmail on a rack. You see on top of that rack is like a silvery gold flail, as well as 4 silver daggers, some cold iron daggers, a small shelf that has several vials lined across it, as well as what looks like a stand with a small wand, a very thin wand sitting on the stand. Then to the left, you see what just looks like a bunch of very standard, you've seen them before, they're like holy water vials that they would use for doing their sacraments and stuff lining the wall, which could be handy in this instance. And then off behind the suit of armor, as you look behind it, you see a small stand, and you see the symbol of Sister against the wall, the undead god, with a small diamond, not small, sorry, rather large diamond, probably the size of, think like the size of a D20. It's just resting there, and it seems to almost give off its own light. There's some energy about it that just kind of makes it glow ever so lightly.
So Borgo would be first putting 2 silver daggers and 2 iron daggers into his sort of finding places in his belt to put them, then just picking up as many things, the flail, the swords, and just picking them up and the chainmail, just picking them up as quickly as possible to take them up. He hasn't realized that the fight above ground has finished yet, so he's just trying to grab things. Then he reaches out, grabs, and is about to grab a holy water when his eyes distracted by the diamond, and with a slight whistle, he grabs the diamond and puts it in his mouth, and then grabs a holy water and tries to get back upstairs as quickly as possible to find out how his companions are getting on.
Okay, so you all hear the sounds of someone trying to climb up a 10-foot ladder with a huge amount of equipment, metal, and gear, coming from the top of where the podium is. Obviously, perhaps your friend Borgo is up there. Borgo, it takes you a little bit to get that out, throwing the stuff up onto the podium as you're pulling yourself up. What do you do as a group? There's nothing to fight, so you're not in initiative order anymore, so you guys can interact with each other.
There's a lot of things down there, but I didn't find any diamonds.
At this point, the former priest's face is now pulp, and Hrothgar just kind of calms down, and he goes, "Did you find any axes or a maul?"
The flail comes skittering along the floor towards where you're standing.
And it was like, what's the damage for flails?
It's the same as a sword, 1d8.
1d8.
And 1d10 if two-handed?
Is it a two-handed flail?
It's not. It's one-handed. It's not. It's not a.
I don't think it's versatile.
It's not versatile. Actually, brother Derek looks. He's like, "You found my flail. Did you find my chainmail and shield?" And he's like, "And you didn't see the diamond. You didn't see the Sisterian diamond. It should have been on the small podium in the back."
And
a diamond.
So
what is the?
Sulgar's released this. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
As Sulgar released his magic and the hand just kind of loses form and just kind of falls into a pile of sand onto the floor, I would like to make a perception check as Borgo comes up and talks. I'm going to shut it down.
Sure.
To see if Sulgar notices that. With my perception, it's not that good, so you got a good chance here.
Three.
Can I make a
Oh,
deception roll?
I do not.
Yeah, no, he seems fine.
It's all good.
So, I mean, unless anyone's gonna hide anything, I know Borgo was hiding the diamond. That's fine. The items can easily be brought up from the basement.
There
and
was
then
no
passed out.
staff, right? No stave or anything along like that, right?
No, but he turns to you and
Oh.
hands you his staff. Brother Derek hands you his magical staff.
He's
He's like, I will use the flail.
Very well. He takes the staff that he made, the makeshift staff. He just throws it into the pews, and he tightly grips the staff that Brother Derek gave him, examining the runes with it. And I need to know, what is the bonuses that I get from the staff?
The staff, it's just a +1 staff.
Just a plus
But
one
it's-
staff. That's fine.
Yeah, it's silver and iron laced, so that creatures either that are unaffected by silver or iron could be affected.
So that's going
Like
to be.
the white, perhaps.
Is that +1 to
creature.
damage as well, or
Yeah,
just
+1 to hit and damage.
okay?
Hrothgar's gonna jump down the hole, and he's gonna look for something bigger than what he currently is using.
Well, he brought everything up.
He brought everything up. Okay.
Well, he didn't bring up the vials and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because
I
that's
would have
not
jumped-
weaponry.
I would have jumped down regardless because I would want to see if he was lying about there being no axes or mauls.
Oh, yeah. When you jump down there, yeah, you see the one stand for the armor that you could see where it was. You could see the stand for the shields, or all those weapons are up. The only difference is that you remember only seeing 2 silver daggers up there, but there looks like there's spots for a bunch of daggers, which we're missing. That's not unusual.
All right. I grab whatever he didn't grab. I assume the vials that he didn't grab were like the vials I had before.
No, they're similar in size, but they look totally different. There's 4 of those vials. There's the stick, the wand, and then there's 10
grabbed
vials.
that too.
There's 10 vials of holy water, or 9 vials.
I grabbed those as well.
Okay, so now everything is up there.
And is there a great sword or something that they might have had?
There's what looks like a long sword with the hilt shaped like the symbol of Sestair. Brother Derek points out and says that's a magical longsword.
There you go. So is this one. What makes this one better?
It's powered by Sestair's power.
All right, I guess since we're in your town, I'll play by your rules. I just pick it up, and you can visibly see I'm very disgruntled because I didn't get my axe or my maul. And I'm just like, here's your stupid vials. And I pass out the holy water. I keep 3 of them on my own hip.
It seems we have benefited from your advice, Brother Derek.
Oh, also, there was this thing, and I hold up the wand. One of you 2 magic, you guys. You take it.
I'll take it. I take the wand and I examine it. Do I have to roll Arcana to find out what it is? Or can I just...
No, you could tell that you can't functionally use this wand,
Okay.
as it's a divine powered energy.
Oh, it's a
Someone with-
divine powered wand. Okay.
Yes.
You give it to the priest.
Yeah, I give it to the priest. Totally.
All right. So he takes it and he tells you that it's the special. Well, he says I can cure wounds with it. He's like, we used to use it for special occasions. If there was like a really bad injury, I would use it. But this seems like something that we can use it for. And he kind of calls forth the dwarf who seems to be the most hurt out of everyone.
I'm smiling. There are some teeth that look like half missing, and I go, yeah.
He touches you with the wand. You feel a surge of pure happiness, joy, enlightenment. The smell of honey passes through your body, and immediately you feel like sun is shining down on you. You heal 10 points of damage.
Yeah. I imagine that the image of my enemies being slaughtered enters my head.
Sure.
That is
Sure.
That is true.
Whatever
happiness.
makes you happy. It's
But under the sun, though.
but
Yeah.
under the sun, that's the important.
with honeydews in the field.
Are you fully healed? He'll
No.
cast it again. Oh, shit. 7 + 2. He heals you for 9 more.
That's enough for now. I won't have him wasted. Because
So-
I have one more vial of healing fluid.
Okay. And Borgo, you looking injured?
Oh yeah, Borgo doesn't complain like the noisy dwarf though. He suffers in silence.
I throw my last vial of healing potion at his head. Like, yeah.
He's like, I got a bunch of them. Why would I need more?
If we're taking a rest, then I prefer to do it the natural way. Maybe save this for an emergency.
Don't be silly, Borgo. Take the damn thing. We need you at full health.
He's like, save the potion, Borgo. I will heal you. And he touched you with the wand, healing you for 9.
Very well.
Nice.
Do you need more?
Thank you.
I assume we
Thank
are
you,
taking
he
a
said
rest.
suspiciously.
Huh?
I assume we are taking a short rest.
Now, what did Borgo say that he ended the sentence with suspiciously?
Yeah, 'cause
Thank you,
he's
he said to the
suspicious.
priest.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because he's a death priest.
Gotcha.
Borgo, are you full? Are you topped up?
No.
All right. So seeing your injuries, he touches you again, heals you for 8 + 2 is 10.
Okay, yep, that takes me to practically full.
He looks around. Is anyone else injured?
Mm-mm.
He sees the captain. Casts a spell on him.
How many charges does this thing have?
He casts his heal on the captain. So the captain looks really good now, a lot better than he did. He looks over. He's like, I have 4 charges left. So hopefully we won't need them. But if we do, I can cast them. And he's like, I believe there were 4 potions of healing in there as well. Fairly strong.
Oh, I show him. And I hand one to Lord Eric. I hand one to Sulfur. Sulfur. Golgar.
Sulfur.
Sulfur.
I hand one to the priest,
To your,
and
to,
I keep
to
one
your,
for
to your superior officer.
myself.
This is 2d4 + 4, correct, for these potions?
No, not these. These are more powerful. These are 44 + 4.
Thank you.
Oh, damn.
Excellent. All right. I am happy with that. And with that, the Eluskan man, well, I don't know if Eluskans are in your world, but the tall, blonde, northern man looks at the priest and he says, You have guided us well, and we are restored by your guidance. Now, we must contend with the rest of the forces within this place. We cannot leave it as such. Where do you suggest we go next?
Just a heads up, I can only keep going for a maximum of about 20 more minutes.
Yeah, we're running for 3 hours and 55 minutes right now, John.
Oh, Hrothgar getting lost took up so much time.
Hrothgar.
No, this is actually a really nice natural transition point to another session, though.
Yeah, because we're all
Having-
restored.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah. I think it's
I
4
I
hours.
definitely want to play another one.
Surprisingly, there's still a lot.
I'm
to
down.
do.
No,
I'm
dude,
down
that's
for
good.
the-
All
That's
right.
good. We'll play next week.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. John. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
This is the first broadcast on Twitch for Roll with Advantage, and you ran the
Yeah.
first game. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yep.
Hope
And
you guys
Thanks,
enjoy.
John.
And tomorrow at 2:30 in the morning, which is actually Sunday,
Sunday
at
morning.
2:30 in the morning, we will be playing the 6th
Depending
session.
where you are.
Yes, depending on where you are. The 6th session of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. It was reconnecting a table that has been playing this adventure for almost 6 months now. And we only played once a month, but we're trying to get 2 times a month in now. So, yes, that's be going. Oh, and we have also, after that, we're going to start discussing running Horde of the Dragon Queen as well in parallel. So that's another DM death game that we're going to be running as well. So thanks for watching Roll with Advantage on Twitch, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
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 That was awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep.